was my good profile?
Yeah.
Who said that?
I don't know.
Art Carney. Norton.
Oh, from the Hungary.
Yep. I told you I was old.
So yeah, I'll get the sound out of that. I'm just gonna roll out a dough and pop it in, and when it gets darker, I'll bring those lights out.
Okay.
But
is there something I can do to help you?
Oh, that was nice. Yeah.
Do whatever you like. Actually, I mean, you're my guest. We're gonna have some fun. But now we're on camera, so you know what not to do, but everything's fair game, right?
You got
go.
it.
But if you wanna help, that's cool.
Why don't you learn how to make pizza?
Oh, more eyes.
All right, so I'm gonna do a thin crust first. Back there.
Oh, you got the palette and everything. Oh, wow.
So pop that in there. Put a little flour down, and I'm just gonna basically degas it, and then I'm gonna roll it nice and flat because I'm not professional.
Okay.
How long do you let that dough
You look
sit?
pretty professional right now.
Well, I'm just kind of making believe. But like the thing that I have to be very careful about is not to get thin spots. So
Right.
I want to be very careful about how I stretch it. And I want to stretch the outside, but not the inside. I don't want to get thin spots. But I think that's enough.
When do you make that dough? How long do you let it sit?
So this dough,
Is that important?
it is actually. This dough I'm rolling out now, I made 2 nights ago.
Oh, wow.
And then there's some dough up on the table that I made yesterday.
Oh, so this is a thing for you, huh?
What's that?
This is a real thing for you.
Well, like I said, I love to cook, and this is just one of those things. See how there's a thin spot there?
Yes,
Right, that could cause problems.
Gotcha.
But let's see. So this might not be perfectly round because of that, but you've been to the Star Tavern, right?
Oh, they make good pizza.
They make good thin crust. This is not going to be Star Tavern.
Also, one of my favorite thin crusts was what's the name of that place we always went? It was in Mountainside.
They had 3 places, 4 places.
Star Tavern? No.
That wasn't Star Tavern. It was something else. It was Mountainside. It was the little town.
Roselle Park.
Roselle Park in a little town, but Fanwood.
Sun Tavern.
Sun Tavern.
It was called
I've
Sun
never
Tavern.
been there.
They made the
I don't
best.
think they might just have the one in Roselle left. I'm not sure.
Yeah, all the other ones closed down.
But Star Tavern's on our list to go to.
What is that? Garlic sauce?
That's semolina.
Oh, okay.
It's handout. It's you see how it's more coarse?
Oh,
Yes.
semolina for the bottom?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
this way it doesn't stick.
Yes,
Right?
no,
It rolls off like little marbles.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
And
That's a point of contention for some people.
they don't like it.
Yeah, some people say that's an easy way out. But as a kid, I remember going to Chicky Paisano's father's restaurant, and they made it that way. And I called him about 10 years ago. I said, "What did you put on the bottom of that pizza?" And he said, "Semolina." That was Steve Trevelyan's friend.
I don't know. I never heard anybody say that's bad, but
Yeah, there was something. I ran across it a couple of times. The real purists.
yeah, I guess. But that's the thing, right? There's so many different kinds of pizza that what do you want to be pure about, right?
Yeah, the only thing you got to be sure is don't put pineapple on it.
You know what's funny? So
Don't tell me you did it.
I lived in Japan for about 6 months. And
Oh,
the
that's
first
interesting.
time I ever saw pineapple on pizza was there.
Really?
It's called Shakey's. And I vowed to never have pizza until I got back to the States. I actually found a place that had pretty good pizza up in one of the little sections of Tokyo.
Uh-huh.
But it was really expensive, and it still wasn't as good as like home pizza here. So here's my problem. I always wind up over saucing. What I'm trying to do now is not over sauce.
Right.
Because I think that could lend to also making it soggy.
Right. I think New Jersey makes the best pizza. Anyway,
Well-
they say the tri-state area, but when you want to,
Yeah, but they really
narrow
say.
it down, New Jersey really is the best.
But they say
Not this neighborhood. Like
Connecticut.
right here,
Really?
There's no good pizza.
Oh.
West Haven in Connecticut is known for their pizza.
Right. They have good pizza up in New Haven and there.
Yeah.
That's
Well, our neighborhood has a lot of great pizza
Yeah, I
places.
think it's Connecticut, New York City, not New York City,
well, that's my
and
wife.
New Jersey. I mean, I lived in Chicago. There was no pizza out there.
So she's in Vegas right now. Let's see what she wants to do.
Oh, nice.
Oh, she's probably just going to go to dinner.
Hey, buddy. Hey. Come on. Come on. Come on. Say hi. There you go. There you go. You like to be scratched, huh? Yeah. You're a good dog. I'd actually take you with me.
So here we go. We're just going to launch it. Now, the trick is, if I cook it too fast, what will happen is the crust won't get cooked all the way through,
Okay.
right? So my goal here is now.
To keep turning it?
Well, I have to keep turning it. You're right. You're absolutely right. But the goal here is to make sure that the crust starts to cook before I start to turn it. Otherwise, it'll be too soft. So
it'll be like anything else. You would flip in a frying pan. It would just break it apart.
You got it.
Right. Okay.
So it's going to take some practice. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Is this rolling? Actually, I don't remember if I turned this on.
No idea.
Oh yeah, it is rolling.
This is good. I got a green light over here.
Yeah, it is rolling. Good. Okay. Yeah, you're good there. And yeah, this is perfect.
Okay.
I see everything. That's great.
Good to
The
be.
other night.
It's good to be seen.
When Kyle was here, I had an idea of the kind of.
Oh, that's a different one. What the hell is
This is
that?
just a turning, so it's a smaller peel. And what I want to do is I want to just lift the front here and see what's happening.
Ah.
I've never seen one of those before.
But you see how it's not ready yet.
We have to
Gotcha.
come to Tom's backyard to learn about this stuff.
So I said,
Been in 1,000 pizza joints. What was your first? Let's see the generational gap here. What was your first slice of pizza? How much was it?
oh shit. Well, okay. My first slice of pizza that I loved, I lived in North Bergen until I was 10 years old.
Where do you live in North Bergen?
50th Street.
Okay.
1205 50th
Yeah,
Street.
it's just across the border.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Next door was a handball court. And then down next to it was a basketball court, and then there was a playground. And my house was right next to the handball court, 1205 50th. So I was below Kennedy. But my sister used to go to dancing school up in Union City.
So you're between Kennedy and Tumley.
Between Kennedy and Tunnel, that's
Okay.
correct. So but 50th Street was weird because it didn't go all the way down the hill. It curved.
Oh,
onto
you're talking about
51st.
the one that street that goes down by the municipal hall in the courthouse? It goes winding around?
No, it didn't. No, not that one.
That's only 40 something, right?
But there was a train tracks that would go, and I was above the they called the tunnel banks. There was a tunnel there, and on the other side was a cemetery, and there was a bridge that you could cross. So I received my communion at St. Bridget's on the other side, but on 51st, that would go all the way from actually it would go all the way to Bergen Line and down to Tunnel.
Oh, wow.
51st. 50th was kind of cut off. But my sister used to go to dancing school up near Holthausen's in Union City.
Holthausen is a great place.
And there was a place right near there called Continental Pizza. And that was my favorite pizza back then, Continental. And I think it was probably about 50 cents a slice back then.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, Continental.
Okay, let's
I remember that.
let's
I
bring this
remember
into perspective.
50 cents
Okay.
slices.
15 cents and 10 cents for the Coke. So 25 cents for a Coke and a slice of pizza.
No kidding.
Right now, if you
What
remember,
year?
you remember 60s. You remember Ponte Corvo's Market
I do.
by the toy store, Davis's toy store.
Yes.
Everybody knew Davis's toy store. I mean, that was
Ponte Corvo was a grill.
open
like
market.
what?
It was an open market.
Yeah.
The right next door it was like a thing this big pizza.
Huh?
I don't think they even had a table. You could stand at the counter, or most people just came and left.
Uh-huh.
And that's ready. 15 cents and 10 cents. Use a quarter. Thank you.
That's
On my way.
amazing. Where it is
Crazy.
now.
And I bought a brand new suede coat. I borrowed the money from my father. My father said, "You don't need it." I said, "I'll borrow the money from you." He never took it back. But
Huh?
I remember I had this brand new suede coat, like a tan sort of thing, and I went in there for the pizza. What do you think?
You got pizza
The
all
Pizza
over.
all
oil,
over.
the oil.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna
The
bring
oil.
the
There's
lights
a
out.
big stain
Okay.
over here. So you were 50 cents, huh?
I think it was about 50 cents
Wow.
for a slice. I mean, my parents were paying. I was young,
Yeah.
so I don't know. But
Well, I was, I was on basically on my own at 14. My mom died. This was my father and I, so we were just like two bachelors,
oh,
Yeah. I mean, he was a dad, but
yeah.
but there was no mom there.
I'll bring these lights out of the way.
He's got a bottle of Max's favorite tequila in there.
Oh yeah.
The ones that were on all the tables at the wedding.
Oh, that's where you get all those bottles from the. There you go.
And where are the distributors?
So, you know what Kyle
No,
does
from the
for a
restaurants.
living? You know Kyle. You know what he does for a living,
No.
right, Kyle?
I know Kyle. I don't know what he does though.
So he's a movie producer
Did you look at
slash
Kyle Grooms?
director.
No, not grooms. Kyle Shetner. He took the comedy class there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to always come to the
Comedy
open
class,
mics.
He's the guy that talks about his daughter going to Stanford.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
He's bigger,
So-
bushy hair.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's a movie director slash producer, right? So I'm thinking this is perfect because he's my very first podcast, and he's going to show me how to do all this camera shit. He's like, no, I outsource that. Oh, good help. Good help.
Everybody outsources everything.
I got a
today.
guy.
I got a
Is he
guy.
from Jersey? I got a guy.
Aww.
When do we get hair and makeup?
Not taking the bone.
She won't take it.
Huh?
Hair and makeup?
Yeah. It's in my contract. And it better be no brown M&Ms.
Oh, she doesn't look happy. What's with the brown M&M?
That was what band was that? That was in their rider for the concerts. They would have M&Ms, but no brown ones.
Who's that?
It was some band. The Beatles. You know what the Beatles rider was for Shea Stadium?
What?
They wanted a couple of cots so they could rest, some towels, blankets, and some water.
That's it?
That was it.
Jeez.
That was it.
How things
And
have
one of the
changed.
first stadium concerts ever. 40,000 people. And that's what they wanted.
No shit.
Yeah. That's a great story. I love that story of them.
Where'd she come from?
Because, I mean, they went from like 0 to 100, but it never really made them movie stars. Never made them, pretentious.
Right.
Even now, if you look at Paul McCartney, he's not pretentious at all.
No, he's not. I like Paul
Ringo's
McCartney.
not pretentious.
Yeah, I'm sure that those guys are, right? It's the ones that are not quite there that are very.
Yes,
Yes.
they ride that. They ride that.
Like I see some guys that go to the mic, and like I'm not going to name names, but they'll say things like,
Oh, please do.
No, well, when you,
I will.
When you reach my level, I'm like, what? What level are you talking about? Like you're at the same mic as me. Like
That's
what do you
so
mean?
funny.
Like
Oh, there are some of those there. Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm not going to mention names either because.
But we've had some really good, like headliner, professionals come into the mic,
I mean,
and they don't act like they're better than everybody else. They
Am I
just
too close,
they-
too far away, or
they're
do I
just
no,
do that?
actually
comfortable.
we're all in frame because I zoomed
Okay.
out a bit, so
All right.
we're good. Yeah, and I think like this worked out well with me and Kyle the other night with those lights.
Okay.
How did you know to get those umbrellas? That's pretty cool.
So years ago, I bought a green screen for my son.
Oh,
Okay.
I
wow.
wanted to do something, so I bought him like this green screen kit, and those umbrellas
Uh-huh.
that light kit came with it.
Okay.
And greatest thing, I mean, little things like that just worked out
Do I look okay?
handy. You look great, man. You look fabulous.
I'm needy.
Fabulous.
So you see what's going on here?
You look marvelous.
Let me get my light on. I turned it.
That looks really good. Ooh,
Right,
it's
I turned it.
bubbling. Nice.
Right. So, but I want to make sure. Here, hold that for a second, please. I want to make sure. You see how the bottom looks?
Yes,
Right? It's not
I
quite
see that.
not quite done yet, right? So
Right.
I'm going to just turn it a bit.
Right.
And I want to make it nice and slow because I want to make sure that the crust gets crispy.
Right.
Well, you know what you're doing.
But so that the cheese doesn't burn,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
long have you been doing this?
Well, I've been making pizza in the house for 20, 30 years.
Oh, really?
No, I mean with this. Like how long since you had this?
We just bought this. We signed the contract last year, September, but we didn't have it actually in place until almost Thanksgiving. Then some other stuff happened, so I didn't get to. And then when there's snow on the ground, it's kind of hard. Like
Right.
I use that thing. That thing is over 20 years old. That
The smoker?
Right.
smoker.
What do they call that? The green.
The green egg. Yeah.
Those are good with when you have a whole.
That's a Weber,
you put
right?
A bottle
Oh my
of.
God.
You
What's
take a
that?
It's
can.
a Weber, right?
No, not Weber.
No.
It's,
Well, it looks like one.
ceramic.
I mean the brand.
No, not the brand.
No?
It's Big Green Egg is the brand.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
It looks like a Weber.
So
I used to live near Weber in Chicago.
that's 20-something years old. And,
Oh wow! Nice.
Made in America.
I do ribs in there. I'll do a pulled pork. I'll do a pulled pork for 18 hours. In there.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
nice.
they're fantastic.
I can imagine brisket or something like
I
that.
do brisket. I've done pastrami.
Really?
So yeah,
Wow.
I'll brine it and then season it and then smoke it in there, and then last thing I'll steam it. And when you steam it, then you get it to the 200 and something degrees.
Yeah.
And when it slices, you got two places where you go for pastrami, right? One, they use the deli slicer. 'Cause they
Right.
didn't- Or the other
Nah.
one, like Katz's, where they cut it with the knife.
Okay.
But with the cut of the knife, you have to make sure the internal temperature of the brisket gets to 200 something degrees. Otherwise, it doesn't have that tender
Gotcha.
chew, right?
Right.
Katz's is the only one left over there now, I think.
Well, there's a lot of pastrami places.
No, but I
in
mean
city.
the famous
Yes, in the
ones.
city.
Yeah, that's the famous
There
one,
was
right?
Wolf's up in the 50s, and there was one downtown too. I can't remember the name. I think it started with a G, and then you had Katz's, and then you had My Daughters or something. My Daughters
I haven't heard that
on
one.
Second Avenue. Yeah,
You know what I'm going to do?
but I used to have a guy come down from
I'm
Albany.
going to open the other one. Even though there's still some in there, I'm going
Uh-huh.
to open the other one.
Okay.
I'm going to open up something radically different.
Okay.
for
This was
contrast.
lovely.
Sounds nice.
This is
This was nice.
a very,
nice.
elegant wine, right? Because it's
Yeah.
not like none of it's overpowering in any way, right? It
Right.
has a lot of
Yeah.
subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this next one I bring out is going to be like an atom bomb.
Nice. Very nice. I like that.
Let's go for the explosion. Come on. This was lovely, this one. I like this.
Yeah, I did too.
We should write the name down of this or take a picture of the label.
And you know that I'm really picky with wines,
Take a
but I
picture of
like.
the label. So I can get it for you. For your birthday.
For my birthday,
Your birthday.
like this year's birthday gift. Sent it back.
Got it?
Yep. Chateau
Hey,
Greysac.
Lola. Oh, there he is.
It's okay, puppy.
You found them. You found them.
I'm right here, puppy. I'm right here. I'll put this on this chair so the blow doesn't bite it. And
I don't think she can do any harm.
what's that?
I don't think she'd do much harm.
Well, she has a few really wonderful moments during the week when the mailman comes. She's got a
Okay.
special bark for the mailman.
Oh, a different bark. I like that.
Yeah, she goes crazy. And she likes the mailman. Like she'll go. Like I took her out a couple times to greet him, but then we have to give her a little piece of mail, and she goes crazy with it. I was like, "Give it to mommy." Yeah.
That's cute.
And garbage night is a huge night here.
Okay,
Because you
the
see
trucks,
the
they're
barrels
loud.
right there.
Right.
So what I
come
do
back
is
for it?
I open this door and unlock it.
hmm
I unlock the front door, and then I go out this door, and I come down and I bring the barrel around.
Oh.
And she follows me door to door, and she spins around like this as she goes to each door. And then finally, I'll run from that door to that door. She'll chase me back and forth, and then I'll finally open that one, and she runs out. And if, she'll maybe poo or something, but,
Oh, that's nice
she's,
though.
it's a garbage. That's
How
a
old
big
is she?
night. She'll be 4 in a couple of weeks.
Oh, so she's young.
Yeah, she's young. We got her during COVID. My wife wanted a dog. You know what?
Everybody got dogs during COVID
Yes,
except us.
yes.
Except
Never,
us,
ever
yeah.
wanted a You have pets?
No.
Yes, we do. We
Well,
have
we have a
bird.
bird. We have a bird.
Okay. What kind of bird?
Cockatiel.
Okay.
And we let him fly.
He's loose. Yes.
We don't keep him in the cage.
No,
Oh,
he's
nice.
why
Like
he's
Beretta?
loose.
No, that's a cockatiel.
That's
That's
a
a
cockatoo.
cockatoo.
Yes.
We have a cockatiel,
Cockatiel's
not a
smaller.
A
cockatoo.
lot smaller. Yes.
I have a cock, but not a cockatoo.
There you go. Right. Yeah. I hear you. I hear you.
I had
My
to throw,
wife-
that was too easy.
My wife's from the Philippines, So she's bilingual.
Okay.
I can only speak English, but I'm cutilingual.
Oh, what's that? Cute. Oh,
Apparently.
never mind.
Apparently, she's not doing a show.
Oh, that's funny.
That's an interesting country. They have been influenced by so many people over there.
One of our
There
bartenders.
a couple of years ago,
Uh-huh.
it was fantastic.
I mean,
I had never been.
The Europeans, the Italians. I mean, everybody's been there.
One
And
of-
influenced them.
One of our bartenders left and started working one of the cruise lines, and the the cruise lines had a group called the Blue Man Group. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yeah.
I've
They were
been
on
to the
Broadway.
show, yeah.
Okay, so one of the people in the Blue Man Group was this Filipino woman, and he was working. I don't even know what he did on the ships. I mean,
He's a bartender.
in the beginning he was,
Yeah.
but now he says he's like a captain of the food and beverage industry, whatever it is he's doing. He met the Blue Man Group, and one of the women in it, he fell in love with her, and he married her. She's
Wow.
Filipino, so they got married. They had a child, and what they do now is they leave the child in the Philippines with her mother,
Right.
and then they go on the cruise, and the cruise, they'll be working on a cruise ship for like 3-4 months at a time and leave their child at home with the mom. And then they go home for like 3 months.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I was like,
Good way to have children,
they're working 3 months,
that's
off
right.
3 months. That's
That's
the way
right.
it works with them. And the two of them are working on the same cruise ship all the time. So it's very different relationship, but it sounds so interesting and exciting, you know?
That is awesome.
That is.
I'd have 4 kids.
That's right.
Have the mother-in-law do
So
it.
how many kids do you have?
2.
We have 2.
One of each.
One of each?
Yes. My son is 32. My
You
daughter's
used to be able to say
28.
that, right? Now you can't.
I can't say that. Yeah. No, in our house we say it.
Holy shit, man! What has?
We don't live in that world. That world is crazy.
Well, this wine is very good.
You know, I'm getting emails now.
I like this wine.
It's
Very
nice.
good.
I'm getting emails now that they sign their name
You just served that at Scotty's.
and below
Yes.
not no more. And
anymore.
below the name they say my pronouns are. I said,
Oh yeah.
Yes,
hell?
yes.
Yeah.
I need to know this. Right?
So you went to St. Peter's. I had a grammar teacher that would be turning over a grave. If she, like,
Mr. Mulville?
I had oh fuck, I don't.
He was a
remember.
big guy. He used to run the trips to Washington every year.
An older woman.
Oh no.
She'd be going crazy right now with what's happening with grammar. But I mean,
Well, those are
It is
men.
crazy.
I mean, those are real he-men in those days at St. Peter's. They were not pussies.
right. Well,
they
it
were
was
really.
the Jesuits, right?
Yeah.
The
Well,
soldiers of Christ,
I'm talking about the lay teachers also.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he would think nothing. Mr. Mulville said, "You got to go get your seat," and I said, "Yes. So what?"
Uh-huh.
That hand came like,
No shit.
and it went past my ear. And it was like the wind went past my ear. I said, "Holy Christ! Thank God he didn't hit me." But that's the way they were.
But I'm staying out here.
Did you do jug at St. Peter's? Oh, you don't know what jug is?
No.
Well, what are
I
you
went to St.
good?
Peter's College.
Oh no, this is the prep I'm talking
Not
about.
the prep. No.
I went to the college too, but the prep. Jug was like when you got in trouble. You had to go to the prefect's office, and he would take you to a classroom, and they would spin a wheel.
Not quite done yet. Right? I
Look-
want to get that.
Yeah.
Right.
little
It
bit,
looks
right?
good, though.
They
Really
would
good.
spin a wheel, and he would open up the prep Men and Manners book that you had to buy, a little booklet that had the prep Men and Manners. How you had to act to do things.
Uh-huh.
And it would say, okay, page 4. And they spin the other wheel, sentence 5. So you'd have this paper with blocks in it. And you had to write a word in each block from 5 and 4, or 4 and 5, whatever I said before.
Uh-huh.
And that was your penance when you got jug, when you got jug for getting in trouble. Yeah. So you couldn't do this ahead of time.
Right.
That's
Sure.
Or you could go
That's
into the
crazy.
ring with the prefect of discipline.
Really?
Put your gloves on.
No shit.
Yeah. I never took that one because he
How
was.
old are you, Eugene?
I'm 6'2". He was a big guy. I was about 90 pounds in those days. 120 pounds.
You want to come up? Come here.
But that was never an option for me. I'll do the riding. My
Come here,
hands will be
Lola.
all sore.
Aw,
But I
she
love the
just wants
college.
to be on
I
her
love the
daddy's lap.
college. You know, it's funny you bring up the English because I went to night school there. Right? So I had an English teacher at night. I remember I didn't graduate high school.
Right. Oh, no.
No, I went back years later and took the
GED.
GED,
Uh-huh.
and then I took the CLEP test.
Okay.
And I wound up getting, don't forget, I went 1 year to St. Peter's,
Right.
1 year to public school, and I left public school my junior year, like September. So that's how good that parochial education was. Because when I went and took the CLEPs, I got 30 some odd credits for college.
Nice.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah. And so, but I went to St. Peter's and they had to do the test. You know, the thing was like, you write an essay, right? And I looked at the blue book, which I haven't seen in 10, 15 years.
Sure.
And I went, uh-oh. Because you either got in the class or they didn't call it remedial, but it was 2 classes.
Right.
And I just took the paper. I went up to the prefect. I said, here. She says, you didn't write anything. I said, I'm not. I'm going to take the class with 2. And I took and that teacher, to this day, I draw on things about writing and phrasing and then how wonderful that education that was. And being thankful that I didn't do that when I was 17 or 18, that I did it when I was in my 20s and appreciated every word that came out of her mouth. You know, so that was really, I mean, it's that English thing, right?
So when I took the SATs, I did well in math, but my English was, I didn't have a good vocabulary. I didn't know how to spell. My reading comprehension was horrible. So I actually wound up having to take some extra grammar classes when I went as a freshman at St. Peter's. But it was good.
Same thing.
It was good because, you know, I learned more there doing that. But, you know, like today is easier because you've got the internet and Google.
Yeah.
Right? If I heard a word I didn't know what it meant, I had to go find a dictionary. But then you have to know how to spell it.
Right.
Yeah, you also had the thesaurus.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So, you know, now things are a lot easier in that regard.
It may be easier, but it's not more worldly. See, like if you didn't know how to spell something, you'd know how to look to the right places, the right resources to figure out how to spell it.
So that it doesn't.
Cools down.
You see what the bottom looks like? I think we're going to be good.
Yeah.
So
that looks lovely.
I put that like that is because if I put it flat on the board, a little bit of seam could build underneath and make it soggy. Yeah,
right.
Sure,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go make the other one. I'll make it regular style. How about that?
So what do you want us to do? Sit here?
Talk to me. I want to know what.
Your grammar book, was it Grassroots of Writing or something?
I have, it's called, I had a
How do I remember that?
Stroke and White or something. And then I have them downstairs.
It was Spiral. I remember that.
No, mine was bound, but it was a tiny little.
No, this was a big book. It was Spiral. And I can't remember her name. She was just wonderful. I mean, we kept journals. You know, I used to write in journals and I used to write stories and there's things I wouldn't have the patience for,
My
right?
handwriting is terrible.
Oh my God.
Even when I make a list,
You can't read his handwriting. He writes like a doctor. You can't read anything he writes.
I used to be a store manager, right? And I used to write lists every morning for my assistants, and they would pass it out to the department managers. So I used to write. And they go, I can't read this shit. And so I said, okay. So my handwriting now is a compilation of script and printing. Because I know if you get the first 2 letters, you know what the hell I was talking about. And that's just natural now. And my daughter said it to me. What the hell are you writing?
Yeah.
I said, she said, I'm writing. She said, no, it's script. It's
all over the place.
It's all over. I said, yeah, I know.
And sometimes we take it and we show him, say, what does that say? And he goes, let me get my glasses. And he's like, I don't know what it says. Well, like, you wrote it.
But you know
he doesn't know.
That might be ACD or some or whatever the hell you call it. Because I just have no patience.
Right.
You know, it's got to be over. If that's 3 letters, it's got to be over fast.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, no, but like I'll start writing.
I promise you, yours is not worse than mine.
Milk. I'll write milk, right? But I'll do M-I, and then I'll do the K before the L, and then I have to squeeze the L in between. Or there's a lot of like, this is my grocery list, right? Like,
I like that. That's
I gotta
good.
get dishes because I can bring dishes.
Oh.
Sounds like my grocery list. Oh gosh, I like that oven.
Yeah, that's very nice.
You know, sometimes on a Friday, Friday was a team day for us.
What is that? Is that gas?
I believe it is, yeah.
You have gas in there?
Gas where?
To make the oven work. I'm trying to figure out how to.
Wood.
It's just wood.
Just wood.
Oh, wow. So if we started like World War III and we lost the electric grid in the place, you'd be able to cook all your meals in that.
Yeah, as long as you can get the ingredients, right?
Right, yes, you're right.
But yes.
The guy worked with me. That would be our Friday sometimes. We would, Friday was a dead day. So we called the restaurant Roy's Rendezvous in Jersey City. It was a really old place. Frank Sinatra used to hang out there.
In your city?
Yeah, in the old days, yes.
What's the name of the place?
Roy's Rendezvous.
Oh, I don't think I've ever been there.
And there's pictures of him all over the place in there. And he had a little plaque next to one of the booths that there was Frank's.
I used to go all the time to Biggie's Clam Bar.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
In Hoboken.
Yeah.
They have one here. Like the last remaining.
I heard, yeah.
Here in Carlstadt.
I love Biggie's. You double park in the street, right? Nobody gives you a ticket.
Yeah.
You go inside and you don't pay.
So
you pay when you leave.
Yeah.
Like you go up, you get your clams, your beer, your this, your that.
So remember Steve, brother,
Yeah.
and Steve? So Steve still remembers me. I go in there, he's like, hey, Tom, he remembers my fucking name. Like that's what those guys.
That's nice when then you feel at home there, yeah.
But that was the old Hoboken. I ran the store in Hoboken. That was ShopRite on Washington Street. I ran that store, and I absolutely loved it because it was the old days. Union City was starting to change already, because you had too many immigrants, and everybody that said, I'm not selling my house, sold their house. So the neighborhoods all just dissipated and became new neighborhoods that were different than what we grew up with. But Hoboken had that, because even though the kids moved out of town, the old timers, they were staunch. They stayed there.
Yeah.
They were not leaving. But plus the architecture was better in Hoboken than it was in Union City. But I mean, I just absolutely adored the clientele I had. I mean, it was really wonderful. I mean, what the hell's the name of the guy on the waterfront?
Marlon Brando?
Terry Malloy. That was who Marlon Brando played.
Oh, okay.
He was one of my customers.
No shit.
Yeah, because the guy says to me, an old guy says to me, he goes, you know who that is? And I used to get that all the time. I said, no, I don't know who that is.
Right.
He says, that's Terry Malloy. I said, Terry Malloy? That's on the waterfront. He says, that's the guy.
Right. Oh, no.
Yeah, he didn't seem punch drunk. He seemed like a regular guy. I'm going to give you one anecdote from that store, which I always love, and I always tell it too much. I was probably in my early 20s, and I was standing behind the registers, and people were checking out, and some old guy, he might have been 60, which I'm calling old now, and he comes up to me, and he had a bag in his hand, paper bag with groceries, and he goes, how you doing, son? I said, I'm doing good. He says, don't be afraid of getting old. I said, why? He says, because when I was your age, I couldn't carry $20 worth of grocery. Look at me now. I thought that was absolutely brilliant.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Now $20 doesn't buy you anything.
$20.
You go in.
You take out your hands.
Yeah, you go in there to pick up one thing. You come out with 4 things and say, I spent $75. I'm like, on what?
You know that chop meat I bought the other day? How much do you think that bag was worth?
What did you buy?
The chop meat for the hamburgers?
I don't know.
$50.
That's
I
ridiculous.
paid $50 for that.
That is
Not for that, but I mean for what was in that little bag.
Is that you or me?
It's you.
Hello?
Oh, you're doing New York slices.
Yes.
I think if you're going to do thin crust, you got to
Yes.
do this, right?
Yep.
All right.
We used to do.
Just lost her.
Oh, let me get napkins, huh?
Ooh, that looks good. Hello? What's up? Yeah. Ben? All right. Is it good or bad? It would only be one of 2 things. And one thing is good and one thing's bad. All right. Can I give you a call later? So we're right in the middle of doing a podcast.
Thank you, Tim.
That's okay.
This is
All
delicious.
right, bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank
What's your sauce?
you. So I just took some Chateau tomato, like the crushed tomatoes. Put a little fresh garlic, a little bit of Italian seasoning, a little bit of salt and pepper, and I just cook it for half an hour.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. So
you know what I found just now is the Moody is the big MUTTI is the big brand in Italy, and they're coming to they're in the United States now, but they have a 15-ounce can, which is easy for cooking.
Sure.
And it's crushed tomatoes.
Right.
Oh my God, is that good?
Moody, huh?
Moody, yeah.
I've never had those.
15-ounce can. It's absolutely because I get this big can. What am I gonna do with it for two people?
Right.
If I'm doing something quick.
Two people.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? Like it's just
Yep.
It's just me and my wife in the house. And you know what I wind up doing? Like if I make something that I can't do small quantities of, I'll just take some and just freeze it, and then we have it, for next time.
That's smart. Thank you.
Hey, sure.
That's what I'm here for.
This is very good. Very good.
Okay, that is. Well, this one will be a little different because it's going to be not the thin.
This is nice.
Okay.
I thought we were gonna get pizza from a store.
That's what I thought. I didn't realize you were making it.
Really?
Yeah.
You just don't listen when I talk, huh?
Probably not. I'm too absorb it myself.
So, like a lot of these guys, I'll notice when I go up to do my set, that's when they leave to go outside and smoke pot. All right, fuck you guys, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Boy,
But
I mean, I grew up with pot. I never smoked pot till I was like 28 years old, and I smoked it twice.
I never smoked.
I mean,
I have, but
but think of put this in perspective. Think of where I grew up in the 60s.
right.
I mean, that was like a rite of passage. You just did it. And I passed more joints than anybody ever smoked. You would just pass it down. And I hate it. But I remember one thing is the smell.
Yeah.
But this stuff that they're smoking now, my God.
It smells like skunk.
It's horrible.
It smells horrible.
So
And a lot of times open mics, like they all start
Oh, my
coming in.
God.
All of a sudden the whole room will just reek of skunk.
I think a lot of those guys just go to open mics just because they want to hang out and smoke pot.
I think you're right.
I think you're right.
I don't know. So, I know we talked about this before we started rolling, but Scotty's was there for 52 years.
57.
57 years.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't open up as a comedy club until 2007.
Right.
And then after that, you were rolling. What was your best year as a comedy club?
2019.
Yep.
Without a doubt.
COVID.
Just before COVID.
Right.
Really?
We thought it was just going to keep going. We were on this. I mean, first it was a roller coaster, then it just kept going up, 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 up. In 2019, we were doing so great. I really thought it was just going to keep going up. And then when COVID hit, it just like pulled everything out from under us, and we just dropped flat, and it never ever got back to where we were.
You got to remember that when we reopened after COVID,
right?
Upstairs we were allowed like 11 people.
Yeah, it was. They had to keep everybody 6 feet apart. It was ridiculous.
Right.
And there's a lovely story there too, because my first act back there was Vince August. You know him?
I don't.
He's the judge that was very popular about 10 years ago because he was a Hackensack judge, municipal judge,
Okay.
and a lawyer. And he said that they said to him, "Listen, you can be a judge or you can be a comic. What do you want?" He became a comic, and he's doing very well now. He's opening for the Daily Show and everything. And he's a very smart guy.
He's on Gutfeld you see him all the time at night on Gutfeld.
Yeah.
He was very good.
But that was the first weekend back, and I think I had 9 or 11 people. So Saturday night, I'm sitting in a room, and he comes up to me and goes, "The boys and I had a meeting, and we got to talk to you." I said, "Okay." When I'm finished here, I'm thinking, "Holy shit, this is ominous." The boys and I had a meeting. What the hell's going on here?
That's funny.
So we went to the office, and he says, "We can't take the money. You can't."
Oh, that's nice.
I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "You can't pay us what you pay us. You're dying here."
Right.
He says, "We just appreciate that we have a home that we can go to and do our stuff."
Uh-huh.
I said, "Oh." He says, "So tell me what you want to pay me." And I said, no, you decide. You give me a number. And he gave me a number. And I said, okay. And he gave me a number for the feature. And I said, we're not going to touch the opener, MC, because he's not making any money to begin with. He says, you're right. And that was it. I mean, I almost cried that night. I mean, it was like, wow, someone really gets it.
Right. I remember that was so nice of him.
Someone really gets it.
They want to go to a place. Well, your place was, aside from the fact that you had to get there to crack of dawn to be like early on the list, right?
Yeah, we screwed up there.
That aside, I mean, your place was great. I mean, because, you know, it was a real comedy club, and you got to, and sometimes you'd actually be there in front of a real audience, sometimes not. It was a great place to practice, you know.
We've had upwards of 60 plus on those open mics, which is very rare for an open mic.
Well,
we never got below 20-ish.
No, never. But we're down the street from Milburn High School. And Milburn High School's got a football team and a baseball team. And I don't know how they ended up doing this, but they had these competitions all the time, all the boys. And the loser always had to come and do it. Our open mic.
That's awesome.
That was fantasy football.
Yeah, and they would come and they would whoever take that loser, whether he had a sense of humor or not, whether he was funny or not, and they'd make him come to our mic to do 5 minutes on stage, and then it would bring like the whole team in to make fun of him and laugh at him.
So like 20 some odd people there.
Sometimes it would bring like the whole football team is like 30 people all coming in.
I was there one night when you had a crowd like that. It was
probably from Milburn High School.
I don't know. They seemed older though. They seemed like they were maybe college kids.
Yeah. We had with fantasy football. We had, it must have been about at least 15 times the loser came to us. And every time, after the first two, you'd see this big crowd. And when I got up to introduce people, I said, "Fantasy football? Yeah. Who's the loser?"
That was funny.
So what? So is it you guys just decided you wanted to retire? Or is that?
It's a father's place. So
my father actually owns the place.
Your father owns the place. Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
He's up in years. He's in his 90s, and he wanted to sell. He's been wanting to sell for the past 5 years, and ever since COVID hit, we've been trying to sell. And we had a lot of people interested in buying and giving us good offers, and we took them. But there was always an exclusion in there that had to get all the permits from the township in order for the contract to go through. And no matter what it is they wanted to do, the township always pushed them back. And it was just too many politics, to be honest with you. Too much blue tape. So
what do you got?
Everybody kept pulling out. But I finally got a guy who wanted to buy us with no exclusions. He didn't care what the township did because he was very sure of himself that he was going to get to do whatever he wanted.
I'm listening.
He gave us an offer and we took it.
So now what are you going to do? You ready to retire?
No. We're taking a couple months off right now, catching up on all the things that we started and never finished, like renovating our kitchen and stuff like that. There's a lot of things we're going to do.
Sleeping.
Chicago brick oven.
Sleeping.
Yes, exactly.
Now, if anybody's out there and they know of a room that could replicate what we had, because what we had was a restaurant and a room above.
Right.
And we had nothing to do with the food and beverage, because the restaurant took care of that.
Right.
That's what we're looking to replicate.
So you'd like to do that?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're looking
so you
for
just
that.
need to find a spot.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
So if anybody knows, we're on call Tom.
You have a realtor?
No. Again, we're not looking to buy.
Right.
We're looking for a restaurant that has an unutilized room.
Oh, like what Chip's doing at Scotty's.
Well, like what we did at Scotty's.
Like what we did.
What you did at Scotty's, but what Chip's doing at
the room.
Tommy's.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay. So every time I go out someplace, I'm going to look now at the back. You know who has? Okay. It's not big enough for what you want. It's not big.
We don't need big. 100 people.
Yeah, I don't think it'll fit 100 people. But if you go to New Providence, New Jersey,
yes,
78 West, there's a place called the Trap Rock Brew Company.
I know it.
I told you they're doing a comedy show.
They have an upstairs there that's a small, intimate room, but you could probably fit about 50 tables in there to do a show. And the
tables or people? 50 tables a lot.
Probably people.
People. people.
And this is called, what's it
The
called?
Trap Rock
Trap Rock.
Brewing.
You gotta go look at that.
The beer's fantastic. The food's fantastic.
It's right down the street from the high school.
The microbrewery, yes.
And it's
yes.
and if you can take a look at it, go have lunch there.
We had
Definitely,
lunch there.
yeah.
Remember, we got a gift certificate once.
The upstairs,
a long
the upstairs
time
is
ago.
cool.
I say I have a
the
good memory.
bathrooms are upstairs, and then they have a little room there they do for private events.
Okay.
How's the parking there? I don't remember.
The parking's not bad. It's valet.
I mean, that was a big thing for us.
See, that's the problem with
So we had a huge parking lot.
Yeah.
And we had the parking lot across the street under the medical building,
and
too.
They have that too. They have a parking lot across
Okay,
the street.
good.
But during busy dinner time, they have, valet, right?
Oh,
But the problem I see with, like a lot of the comics that I talk to, they're like, "Well, I'm not going to go to that mic because they're charging me $5 to go up, or I have to buy a beer. I have to buy 2 beers." I'm like, guys, you're gonna buy 2 beers.
If you go to
anyhow.
the city, you know what you're going to pay just to park the car?
yeah. Even
Well,
was it,
well,
$20,
the toll to get
$30 to park
The
it.
toll to get into
Yes.
the city, right?
I
But
mean, you
my
know,
point
so
is,
they're going to go in and they're going to take up a table and a
lot of
space
these
and not
guys
pay anything?
nickel and dime that, and I don't understand it. But
Yeah.
again, I'm different because I'm already older,
Right.
right?
You
But-
understand the business end of it.
But
Yeah.
some of these guys, they're in their 30s. Like they should
know.
already be out
They
of
should
mom's
know.
basement, right?
Right.
But
They're not.
it's a new world. Listen, you probably were never there, but every once in a blue moon, I got someone there. I can't believe there's no. I got to pay $7. I said, "Don't come back. Don't come back. You can leave right now." What do you think? We put the lights on. We do this. We're not making any money here.
Right, exactly.
We're covering expenses. We're just doing this for the industry, for the comedy. I mean, I promise you, I could give you every nickel in 10 years? In 10 years that we made on that, I will give it to you in cash right now because it's in my pocket. There was no money.
There was no money, yeah.
So, but yeah,
But I said, Father, we had a $7.
But you're looking to do some more of that.
Yes.
The same
Find
thing.
a room.
Right.
That's perfect. Because if I
We love
happen to
comedy. We
stumble,
love it.
stumble across something,
Oh, please
I'll
do.
let you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's funny because Chip was supposed to be here.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Today's Wednesday.
Yes.
Tomorrow. Right. And then he had to cancel. And he mentioned in his email to me that, he's looking to figure out how to fill the gap for what he lost by doing the class at your place.
Right, which I
Right.
understand. I feel
Yeah.
bad about that.
So no. I mean, look.
I mean, he's teaching classes in,
Right.
I think, 2 different places. One's
He's
Tommy's.
at Tommy's and he's at the Rhino. I
Yeah,
think,
no,
right?
but he's also at some performing arts.
I think
Performing
that was a
arts?
one-off.
Oh, I thought he was
No,
working.
I think that was a one-off. I'm not sure, but
He's
I
a
think
great
that's
teacher. He's
Yeah,
taught
no,
over
no.
800
He's a super nice
students.
guy too.
No, but he knows what he's doing. He knows he's very
Yeah, but
structured.
you know what?
And it's not just the class. During the week, he's sending emails back and forth and phone calls back and forth. I mean, he's really that good, you
we
know?
started off with this whole thing, but because we were neophytes in the comedy world, and then I noticed that a lot of people had comedy schools, comedy classes. I said, "Hey, we have comedy classes." She's she's the money person, right? She says, "Oh, well, let's go do that tomorrow." so every week I would get, "Who do you got? Who do you got? Who do you got?" I said, "Lourielle, I don't want to do this because most of those out there look like a money grab." Right,
Yeah,
so I don't want
a
to
lot
do
of
this a
them
money
are.
grab, and she certainly agreed. And then we found Chip
Right.
through Johnny Watson, actually.
Right.
Johnny Watson, yeah.
Right, and
Johnny's
then
hysterical.
it was like,
he's very
holy-
funny.
holy
okay,
shit,
we're
this
gonna
is
talk
the
about that
right.
too.
This was the right move because we got a guy that was sincere about it. He cared about the people he was teaching. He was available to the people that he was teaching. He wasn't over the
One-on-one.
top.
Some
I
of the
mean, it
people will
was like
call him on a nightly basis.
it was
Yeah.
unbelievable. I mean, we were very lucky to find Chip.
And
Right.
and I learned something the other night about Chip. That which one do you like better?
I like the
both.
second one. The second one better.
You like
Yeah.
the DAOU better, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
wow.
you said, it was like a wow. Yes.
It's
Very
like
nice.
Did I
drinking.
say wow?
So, I was talking to Kyle the other night here, and he mentioned they did some special show where it was some special LGBTQ kind of show, and they had this woman come in who was actually like a big headliner.
Probably
But-
Julia Scotti.
I don't know who it was. He didn't mention who she was.
She's very good.
She
But-
transitioned from man to woman.
Oh, I've seen her.
She's
I've seen her
hysterical.
All right, when you
Very
finish this, I
funny.
got a
Very good.
story for you.
So anyhow, he mentioned that they didn't get the advanced sales on tickets, and they were going to let her know we didn't get the sales, but I'm gonna. But Chip was like, but I want to pay you anyhow.
That was Julia.
Right. And so you guys need to discuss with Chip the business, right? Because Chip's just too nice.
He really is too
he's
nice.
just too nice,
Yeah.
right?
You're right. Exactly. Yes.
I saw her perform, and so here's what I want to say about her.
Rick. That's her name.
There were a bunch of people that got up before she did her thing,
Right.
and it was at this Hackensack Theater, which
Right.
the theater was gorgeous, right?
That was Women of Comedy, wasn't it?
No, it was another one. Kyle hosted, and it was an LGBTQ show.
Okay.
So, but Kyle hosted, and I went there because it's right here in Hackensack. It was easy for me to go because I got to pick my fights with my wife. You know what I mean? I got to pick my fights. Right? So I said, I want to go see Kyle do his thing. Right? I love Kyle, but.
Are you getting an apartment together?
So no. Yeah, you know he's bi, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So everybody did their thing, but when she got on stage, like the crowd went crazy, and there was she had some kind of charisma, and I asked
she does.
Chip
Well, she was
about-
on America's Got Talent.
Yes.
right, but I don't understand how the charisma works, right? So I started asking Chip questions about what occurred, you know what I mean? But then I thought about how she approached the stage, and she was up there and she was dancing, whatever. But it was like she had a good
Aura.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly it. And
I know a word or two.
I don't have that, right? I don't have an aura.
The first time I remember seeing Julia come in, she came in and she was the feature act, and the headliner was going to be Robin Fox.
She was a guest.
Guest
First time she was a guest.
Okay, she was a guest spot. And our headliner that night was Robin Fox, who's excellent. And
seasoned.
yes. So we've never heard of
What happens
Julia.
when you get a thin spot?
Oh,
wow.
Look at that. It completely separated.
It's still going to be good, but I got a thin spot.
Okay.
Actually, Jason Pollock was helping us in the room at the time, and he introduced us to Julia, and the whole trans thing going on, and she told me the story of the whole thing, and I was like, please, I don't want no more information on this. And her name was Rick before that, Rick Scotty, and she was really an up and coming comic.
Really good.
And she was on America's, I don't remember the name of the show, America's Comic or something.
There were a whole bunch of shows like that.
And
Yes.
she lost, or he lost at the time, to Ellen DeGeneres.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, that's the type of level
Interesting.
she was at. Then she leaves comedy, goes to teach school, and then decides to get back into comedy. And we caught her just at the time she was coming back into comedy because she was friends with Jason. And
Right.
Jason was looking for a place for her to do her stuff. And she was on fire. I mean,
Really?
yeah. And so Laurielle was saying, Robin Fox was there the one night, and we had her as a feature.
Uh-huh.
And Robin Fox is sitting next to me, and she's going, what the fuck? I said, what? She told my George Clooney joke. I said, nobody owns George Clooney jokes.
Uh-huh.
Then about 10 minutes later, she goes, holy shit. I said, what? I have no problem following guys, but I'm having a problem following this woman.
Uh-huh.
I remember
And
that.
I said, you know what, Robin, when you get off the stage, I got a story for you.
Uh-huh.
He was a man.
She didn't know it. But the way Julia comes across, like there's a difference when a woman does her comedy and a man does her comedy.
Yeah, exactly.
Men are very, I can't explain it, a lot more forceful, a lot more, what's the word? They just break through the barriers where women won't break through as
There's
much.
a presence.
There is a big, big difference. I mean, if you watch enough comedians, you'll see it all. And a lot of women won't go through that barrier. But Julia walked up, and everybody's looking at this woman walking up to the stage, and she looks like, just
Somebody's aunt.
yeah, she looks like somebody's nice old aunt, and she's standing on the stage, and she takes the microphone, and all the people in the front of the audience were not ignoring her, and they were just like having their own little conversation. And I don't want
She rips it up.
curse, but she just turned around and says, "Shut the F up!" Like, she
Really?
screamed, and they all looked at her like your aunt would never talk like that.
Fuck word?
Well, I don't know if we can or not on the cameras. I don't know if it's
we
or
said
not.
it all night.
Okay. But anyway, she said that, and the whole room just was
I
quiet. And we
apologize
all
for my
looked at
wife's
her.
language.
But they all looked at her like, what did she just say? And all of a sudden, she just grabbed their attention and she just ripped the entire room apart and went, and she had that room laughing nonstop. I'm talking really belly laughter coming up, real strong laughter. They were hysterical.
That's nice.
And Robin, who is the headliner, is in the back of the room watching her saying,
fuck.
oh no, how am I going to beat this? Because she's the headliner. And the room, it looked, in the beginning, it looked like it was going to be a rough room. Like, am I going to get them to laugh or not? And Julia had them hysterical, almost falling on the floor laughing. And Robin got a little nervous because she's like, I've never seen a woman grab the room like this before. But he knew, and I didn't even know. He told me later after the show. I didn't even know. And then I'm like, oh, she had the room like a man has the room. Like she's been there. She knows how to handle the room.
I've never followed a woman like this. I said, Robin, when you get off later, we have a story to tell.
That's true.
Because
she was excellent.
It wasn't really, I think it might have been. And Julia can call me out on this, but if it wasn't the night, it was close to the night that she announced that she was transsexual.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she was a lot of fun. I mean, we had a lot of fun with her.
She's a very fun person.
My son just graduated Drexel.
Can I steal that from you?
The piece?
Yeah, because you can grab right next to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So my son went to Drexel University in Philly.
Okay.
That's
in
a big
the
school,
music
right?
industry program. So the way they
Is that almost like Ivy League, Drexel?
no,
Oh, I thought it was.
it's in the top 100.
Yeah, it's like it's a famous school, right?
It's a good school, but for the program he went into, they're very selective, right? So he got in there. So he's in the music industry program. He wants to be a music producer, right? He's a music kid. And he's in several bands, but one of the bands that he's in, the singer is trans. And you know, I don't know at what stage they're through with the whole right. But look,
You don't want to know.
the kid, but the kids, they're nice kids. They're all nice kids, right? And I don't ever
No,
want.
that doesn't make them bad people.
No, but, right, exactly. But I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable, right?
Of course.
But, you know, I'm at that age where, you know, I can smile at you and it's a smile, but, you know, like it's a smile, right? But then I take it a little bit further and now it's creepy, right? I'm the creepy old guy, right? And I don't want to make the kids feel uncomfortable. But I have a good time with all these kids, right? But now, here's my only issue with this kid. My only issue with this kid. And I'm not going to say his dead name, right? But he chose the name Bridget as his female name.
Wow.
And that's my issue, right? If you're going to start a name with the letter B, why Bridget? Why not Brittany, right? Brianna, right? Bridget. Like I don't fucking get it, right? But otherwise, I'm cool with the kid. Like
maybe he thought he was Bordeaux.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were at a club in Brooklyn where they played, and I was fucking around with all of them, you know. But I have a good time with the kids, you know. I'm just one of the kids, you know.
You know that line that you said before about doesn't make him a bad make him a bad person.
Bad person, right?
You know where that's from?
No.
That's from the Boston Strangler. Tony Curtis was starring in it. He was a hairdresser, and some guy says to him, "You're a faggot," and he goes, "It doesn't make me a bad person."
Oh,
I remember that. Yes, I remember that.
I remember that line since I was a kid. I was like, "Wow, what a comeback!"
My wife started watching all these old movies that I never watched.
I love old movies.
Jerry Lewis and
really,
I do too.
Like Jerry Lewis.
I love Jerry Lewis. I do.
The only thing I like is that one scene, and I even remember what movie it was, where he's in the boardroom and he takes a cigar from the head of the table out of the box, and they play the jazz music, and he's just like pointing and mimicking things, and not a word comes out of his mouth.
I don't think I've ever seen.
Yeah, well, that was his background.
Right.
See, when he would with Dino, his act was pantomime. He would play a record and pantomime the whole thing.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, if you look back at the early stuff, you're like, what is Dean doing with him? You know, because he was really a professional, polished singer.
Really?
He was a clown.
Most people don't know that. He acted like a clown on TV.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I mean, Andy Kaufman did it with
That's
Mighty Mouse.
That's why he was always angry with Dean Martin. He was very angry all the time with him. Always.
Well, Dean was the star.
You didn't see it on camera.
Right.
But off camera, he was always angry.
Well, they were both broke in New York City. That's how they got together. They wound up together by a mistake someplace, and then they got together because they were both, eating ketchup soup. So, but Dino was the catalyst that took them, right? And
well, women love Dino, right?
Yes.
I love Dino.
Absolutely.
I might even go gay.
He had a charisma
there's
about
nothing
him.
smoother than
Between
Dino.
his charisma and his voice, the way he was, every woman would just
That was the
melt
king
around
of
him.
cool.
He really was.
Yeah, like if you look at like Cannonball Run.
Yep.
Even when he was older, right?
Yeah.
Like Cannonball Run.
Yeah. That was think of that movie, Jackie. That was Jackie Gleason that year. Wasn't Jackie Gleason?
Cannonball Run. No, that was. Who might have been in it?
Yeah, and Sinatra was in that too.
Sinatra was in it. Yeah.
All the old timers.
I thought Jackie Gleason was the other one, Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's not Cannonball Run. That's
Okay.
Cannonball Run was the race from California to New York.
Okay.
The one you're talking about is Smokey and the Bandit.
That's it.
Yeah,
Yes. I
I'm
thought
not.
that was a stupid movie.
They were all stupid. That's why I can't remember shit.
So I got to hear some funny stories about shit that happened at the club.
Artie Lang?
Yeah, if you give me a little wine, I'll tell you an Artie Lang story.
Funny one.
With everyone. They're both good, actually.
Yeah, there's plenty in both, and I can
I'll take that one.
buy more.
I've been trying to get Artie Lang for a long time at this moment. And Mike Morris and all these guys that know him. I'm going to talk to Artie about you. I'm going to do this. I got Artie will call you. And nothing happens. And he just kind of let the whole thing die. And that's when Artie was kind of slipping away. Yeah. So I get this text. Hey, let's do a show.
We were in the middle of the show.
No, hold on. There's a preface to that. Hey, let's do a show. I'm like, yeah. I'll call you.
You didn't think it was real.
Hold on a second. You're stealing my thunder here.
Okay.
Thunder.
So anyway, I get this text has been going on for about a week or so. And I'm telling her, big mistake. Because once you tell her, when's it happening? Holy shit.
I'm sure your wife would do the same thing.
And 20 some odd years, they don't get it yet, right?
I like details. He's just the big picture, you know?
I'm the concept guy. So
that's how it works.
all these texts are coming in and out, right? So Gonzo called us and said, hey, you want us to go see Mike Marino at the New Jersey PAC Saturday? And we said, oh, sure. So we went to the second show, which was 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or something like that.
Thank you.
It might have been 10 o'clock, right? So we're walking into the mezzanine, and she goes, hey, what's ever happening with that Artie thing? I said, you know what, Laurielle? I think it's a comic pulling my chain. I think this is bullshit because I call, I write, nobody gets back to me. Then he asked for the show again as we were sitting there.
Right in the middle of the show.
10 minutes to 11 at night, Saturday night.
It was right in the middle of the Mike Marino show.
How you doing, pal? I said, Artie? He goes, yeah. We gonna do a show or what? I said, oh, Jesus Christ, I've been trying to get a hold of you. Yeah, let's do a show. I said, absolutely. He goes, okay, we'll do it tomorrow. I said, tomorrow's fucking Sunday.
Yeah.
It's 11 o'clock at night.
No advertising.
He said, you know what? You got a point. We'll do it Monday.
Jesus Christ.
I'll be on Kumia Monday.
How are we supposed to get an audience by Monday?
I said, what do you want? What are you looking for? He said, we'll work it out. And Monday he had 90 people there. All guys.
He's got a rabid following. They follow him everywhere.
Artie basically had a residency by us. He was there almost every 2 weeks.
Right.
Nobody was hiring him because of his problems, And we watched the deterioration of him as a physical, but as a man, he was really solid as a rock. He was a gentleman. He went to the open mics sometimes, and he would just finish his 10, 15, 20 minutes or whatever hell it was. And he'd say, okay, you guys are starting out. Any questions? And he would do a Q&A.
That's nice.
He was a really nice
our cook would cook him a steak.
Mm-hmm.
He'd give him a $20 tip. Mm-hmm. One night, he says, those guys over there, don't give them a tab. I'll take that tab.
No
2
shit.
people. It's all right. So the waiter comes to me and goes, "Where's Artie?" I said, "He's walking out." He's, "Oh, you're supposed to pick up that tab." So previous to this, Artie goes to me, "Hey, pal, you got $100 you can give me?" You know, I said, "I know you're good for it." I gave him $100 bill. So the waiter runs down the back of the room, Artie's down the steps, and goes, "Artie," "What?" He goes, "You got the tab." "Oh shit, I'm sorry." "What? How much was it?" He says, $37. He says, "Here, there was my 100." He said, "Keep it." I mean, I got one more. I'm hogging this, but one more. I go to Artie's place in Hoboken, and for pizza, and I'm talking to Artie about Biggie's and all these places in Hoboken.
Piccolo's.
Yeah, absolutely. Piccolo's is the first one because of Sinatra and all that stuff, right? So I said, he's never been to these places. I said, "You got to be kidding me." So we'll meet and we're going. Nah, he comes an hour late. There's some people in the apartment that I don't think they belong there. I'll leave it at that. I hear him trumping. You know, he comes in. Artie enters the room. You know, Artie entered the room. And so I hear him. And I'm in the living room and waiting. And he goes into another bedroom and comes out about 20 minutes later. "How you doing, pal?" I said, "Well, a little late here, huh? Yeah, you got anything? Did they help you?" I said, "Well, he got his water." So he had the refrigerator was water. He said, "Yeah, we'll have a pizza." It's okay. So he tells his kid that was his assistant at the time, "Go order a pizza from the place that he loved." Right?
Benny Tadino's?
No, I know Benny Tadino because I used to go to Benny's place in New York, which you don't know about. He owned with Peter. It was called the Port Said. It was a Greek restaurant.
Oh, I heard so many stories of that place.
I did not know that.
Yeah. See, I've been around.
A little bit, right?
Yeah.
A little bit.
So Artie comes in, we'll order the pizza, get 2 plates. It's the best pizza, blah, 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 blah. And then he starts pacing the living room. He had sunglasses on. It's not 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and I don't know what the hell it was. 50 fucking years old. 50 fucking years old. There I am. 50 fucking years old. I'm a washed up comic. 50 fucking years. And this goes on. I said, "Artie, shut the fuck up. I'm 61. He goes, "Exactly. I look like your fucking uncle." I mean,
right.
Jesus Christ. Even when he was on, yeah, I don't want to say fucked up, but he was probably fucked up. But he was razor sharp.
On, yeah.
He was, one day he came to me at the back of the room and he goes, "What's the matter?" I said, "I got a problem." He says, "What?" He says, "It was Thursday." And I said, "Freddie Rubino just called me. His wife's in the hospital with 103 fever now for 5 days. He's supposed to do this weekend up here. They're in Florida." And he says, "I can't leave her." I said, "Absolutely, you can't leave her." So Artie goes, "What's the matter?" I said, "I got to replace Freddie this weekend. It's short term. I don't know who to get." And he's waiting, "This weekend?" I said, "Yeah, Friday and Saturday." He says, "No, I'll do it." So thanks, Artie. "You sure?" He says, "Yeah, I'll do it." Don't forget, sure is sure. Is you showing up or not showing up, right?
Right.
So you sure? Yeah. So he said, "Okay, what do you want?" And he goes, "I don't know. What are you paying Freddie? Whatever you're paying Freddie, you pay me." Don't forget, he's a marquee player now.
Right.
He could say, "I want this."
Right.
He says, "Whatever you're paying Freddie, you pay me." That's the type of gentleman he was. I mean, I feel so bad for him and what he's gone through. And I mean, but he was always very, very gracious to me, even when he was an asshole.
I hear you.
But boy, what a funny guy. I mean, I'll never forget that as long as I live. He just swung around and pointed the finger at me and goes, "Exactly. I look like your fucking uncle."
Until the one night when he didn't show.
Oh, yeah. One night we had
Bob Levy was
Bob
opening
Levy
up.
was
Reverend Bob Levy?
Bob Levy was driving around with them, right? And they were doing shows. So they did a couple of shows by us. And so it was a Saturday night, and it was supposed to be Artie and Bobby.
Come on, puppy. I'm listening.
Okay. It was supposed to be Artie and Bob.
She wants to be part of it.
Okay. Fair enough. And no Artie. And Bob's going to me, did you call Artie? Yes, I called Artie.
Got a room
I said,
packed, waiting for Artie. They're only there to see Artie.
Did you text Artie? Yeah, I did too. Nothing. So we start about 10 minutes late, right? So Bobby goes, listen, I'll go up and we'll do this. And when he comes, just walk into the light a little bit so I can see you and give me, and I'll know the close up.
Right.
I said, perfect. So Bob's up there about an hour.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He's supposed to do 30 minutes.
But Bob's a headliner. So Bob's up there about an hour. She comes out of the office to the bar. I'm at the back of the bar. My back's at the rail, right, looking. She goes, where's Artie? He's not here. He goes, what's your plan? I said, fuck. I didn't say that. I thought that. He says, what's your plan? I said, plan? He goes, yeah, what's your plan? I said, I don't know. Bob's up there, I'm back here, and we got no Artie. So about another 10 minutes go by, and Artie, Bob goes, hey, Gene, can I have the room Wednesday or Thursday this week? I said, yes. He goes, and he went to the crowd. He goes, listen, I don't know where Artie is. And he said the same thing I said one night. I'll tell you that story later. He says, we don't know what happened to Artie. We hope he's okay. We can't get a hold of him. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you a free show, either Wednesday or Thursday, whatever Gene decides we can give him. But here's what you do. You take the comment cards, you write your name down that you had your reservation in and your phone number, and we will call you whether it's Wednesday or Thursday, and you'll have a free show.
Right.
And they went, all right. And
it worked out.
Everybody left except for one person. One person at the back of the room, some Short Hills matron, the stereotype.
Is that a stereotype?
Yeah, it
oh,
is.
yes.
For me, it is.
Oh,
yes, we
don't say that, though.
Well, I do.
Yeah, okay.
Free,
you can edit it.
I'm not editing anything.
I'm white, and I'm 21.
No.
And that's been in 37 movies, by the way, that line. So she comes to me and goes, I came to see Artie Lang. I did not see Artie Lang. I want my money. I said, you saw a professional headliner up here for an hour and a half. He's a pro. No, I came to see Artie Lang with that real the inflection, right? I came to see Artie Lang. And I said to myself, don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Give her money because the rest of the crowd was fine. All you needed was this going on.
That's right.
The rest of the crowd was saying we follow Artie everywhere, and he does this everywhere he goes.
Right.
We didn't know this.
So we came.
I've never had a comic just not show up.
We did the show on the Thursday, and Artie showed up, of course, and
he apologized to everyone.
He apologized. He did. He was
very
apologetic.
gracious.
He's sorry, and the funniest thing was when I was sitting in the room, they would come in and go, Hey, can I sit with him? Because it was like a reunion from Saturday night.
Jesus Christ.
I sat with him on Saturday, and the room just kind of filled up.
It was really a nice room.
It was a
wonderful.
Now I know what she's going for. It was a residency type of show. It wasn't a Friday or Saturday. It was like maybe a Wednesday or a Tuesday or something. And we got Artie, and Johnny Hollywood opened for him.
Okay.
And Johnny Hollywood didn't have a lot of time in those days. And so we're waiting for Artie. And Artie said he wanted cash. So the tickets were all in cash. And
which is
Johnny's
really rare. Everybody pays with credit cards.
So Johnny's up there.
There is no cash.
Yeah, his fans will pay it, So Johnny's up there and he's doing like 20 minutes or better. And I said, I got to do something. He's no Artie. So I walked up on the stage and Johnny goes, what are you doing? I said, I got it from here. And I said, hey, guys, I can't find Artie. Before you get mad, let's hope he's okay. We don't know what's happening. But the good news is you're getting your money back because she went in the office with the cash and put a comp ticket for every ticket.
Right.
So you had a comp ticket for 2 plus your money back.
Right.
So I said that. You get a comp ticket for 2 and your money back. And the guy right in the front, he goes, what the fuck? And I said, oh, shit. This is not me. I mean, I'm not used to doing this stuff, dealing with this. I'm thinking this is a heckler. This guy is going to put me in my place. He goes,
right.
What the fuck? I said, what? He goes, we're Artie fans. we're used to this shit. We never get our money back.
I was surprised. I'm not used to dealing with people like that.
We never get our money
That's
back.
too funny.
It was right. You know, there was like sweating, like, uh-oh. I got a problem here in front of 80, 90 people. It wasn't. It was like, thank you, man.
So earlier I drew a blank. I forgot the names. The one name I forgot was Bobby Slayton. Has he ever done your?
No.
He's never done your club.
No.
Bobby Slayton.
No.
I saw him.
I know Bobby Slayton, who he is. Yeah.
I saw him at a local club years ago. With like this before I married my wife.
Mm-hmm.
How
long you married?
We got married in 2000, but I met her in '98. So newlyweds. Yeah. I met her in '98. So we're together 24 years. We're married 24 years.
You better get that straight.
26 years. Yeah.
You're on film right now.
Oh, you know it's the numbers, right?
It seems like it seems like yesterday.
It does. Yeah.
I helped you out.
So, and then the other guy was John Greer.
Okay. Yeah.
You know John Greer,
yes, I do.
Right. So he's the one who told me about Chip's class, and he used to go hang out, and he's in Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Yep.
I haven't seen John in a while, but that was the name the names. I'm getting older, I'm not as old.
We all are.
Easy,
He's very old.
Pal.
He's an old one.
So I want to know.
I got ties older than you.
I want to know. Yeah. I might have ties that are older than you because they were my dad's. I want to know what annoyed you about sometimes with the comics that would come to the club. Not with names, just
Oh no, we got names.
What were some of the annoying things that? I heard that you guys banned John McGinley because he got yogurt all over your stage.
Yes.
You know what he did? We have first of all that sign behind it. The Pelican sign. That cost us a lot of money.
Sure.
And then there's all curtains behind it, and it's black.
Uh-huh.
And he got on stage and took a big thing of yogurt and just splashed it all over the back. Our
shit.
sign,
That
our
was an
curtain,
open mic night.
everything.
That was an open mic.
Yeah.
He just splashed
he went up there.
yogurt everywhere, thinking he was funny.
He was doing
and he was destroying the place.
something that was kind of, I don't know, he thought it was edgy or something like that. I was watching, watching the mic.
Wasn't funny. It's supposed to be
I wouldn't
funny.
say that,
No, it was not funny.
But then he finishes with the yogurt thing, because if there was a yogurt involved in the joke or something, he pulls it out of his pocket and he flies all over the place. And if you see me on tape, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
We had to take down all the curtains, everything had to.
Fucker.
It was
and I
bad.
ran up on the stage, but he was out the door.
Yeah, he just ran. He ran off the stage and down the stairs.
But the first time
I'm a
I
big
saw
guy.
McGinley
But I could be a small guy. Thing was, I was pissed.
Uh-huh.
So a small guy pissed is worse than a big guy.
I saw him the first time ever at Crescenzo's mic at the Boulevard, right? And he was yelling about something, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I better get the fuck out of here." You know, like and then the next time I saw him, he was fucking hilarious. Like, and then I wound up becoming friends with him.
Okay.
But you never know what you're going to get with him.
It's true.
But the one time I saw him, he was fucking hilarious.
We never got to see the
And
comedy
then
side
another
of him.
time, he did this bit. I don't want to. I guess I could. He did this bit about. This was just part of it. This is the part I remember. About what's his name, Epstein.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's like, Epstein definitely killed himself. There's no doubt in my mind Epstein killed himself. No doubt. Take a guy who used to get 12-year-old pussy on a regular basis, and now you put him in jail, and he's not getting any pussy at all, and he used to get 12-year-old pussy on a regular basis. No, he fucking killed himself, for sure. And the way he delivered that, it was fucking hilarious. I mean, and he had a whole bunch of shit.
Uh-huh.
He does these songs about hating Jews, and but the way he does the song about hating Jews, they're fucking hilarious. But
we never saw that side of him.
He does some weird shit.
He just came in and wanted to do like that shock value thing. Destroyed the place.
The shit out of him.
He just came in, destroyed everything, and walked out and ran out.
That's
all. So we never got to see if he was funny or not.
Paul Field videoed that, and he put it all over the place.
He did.
Oh yeah,
I've been doing that on stage.
So aside from that,
we really never had any major problems.
No
We had
major problems.
Two things. One guy came in one night. We feed the comics, right? So he's sitting there eating, and I sat next to him in the back of the room and for the show.
Oh, you mean you feed the guys who are doing the show?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, not the audience.
Yeah.
They pay.
No. What I mean, like, not the open micers.
No,
the
not
No, the real
certainly
shows,
not the
the real
open
shows,
micers. We'd
yes.
have 100 people.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, so he's eating, and first time I saw him, and I came in as a recommendation. I don't remember from who. He goes, he's a feature. He goes, really a headliner. I said, I didn't know that. I'm really a headliner. I'm doing this.
I remember this.
I'm doing this as a favor. I'm doing it. You look at me, but I'm a headliner. And he just kept on and on about this. How this is below him to be.
If you're a
feature.
headliner, you don't have to keep telling
Right.
people that.
Well, that's obviously. And so he gets on stage. I promise you, this is my Jewish friends say emes, right? The truth. He didn't get a laugh.
No.
He got
Not
a
one.
mercy laugh at the end.
It was horrible. Absolutely
At the
horrible.
end, he
It
got
was
a mercy
embarrassing.
laugh, and it was like, holy. So I get on the phone. I call Johnny Watson. Right? I said, Johnny, what are you doing tomorrow? He goes, I'm off. I said, win a feature? Absolutely. So, and then he came in. I said, Laurielle, do me a favor, cut me a check for this guy. And he took him in the hallway. Said, here's your check. He says, oh, I get paid every day. I said, no, you're done.
Don't
You're
come
done.
back.
Don't come back.
He actually got on stage and says he says to the crowd, I want everybody to do a shot. Does everybody have a shot in front of them? No? Okay, well, let's give everybody a shot. And I'm like, what? The house is buying shots for the club? I said, absolutely not. This is not happening. But the words that he used made it sound like the house was buying the whole room a shot.
It was implied. But that isn't even the worst part. The worst part was we had our bosses sitting there unentertained for half an hour.
And they were not laughing.
Well, what is funny, really?
You know what? You don't have to be hysterical.
You can't.
Everybody has a different funny.
You
when you've got 100 people in a room,
I'm funny, but looks aren't everything.
I like that.
You got a point.
When you got 100 people in a room,
here, right?
you got to get a couple of people laughing. And you know what? The bigger the crowd, the more the laughter, because laughter is so infectious.
Yes.
That everybody, a few people start laughing, everybody else catches on. They all start laughing. When you have a small group and nobody's laughing, it's rough. That's a hard job for a comedian to do. It really is.
It is.
But that was one, and one was we were sitting in the Lobster House in Cape May, and on vacation, and the guys called me and said, "Do we have a problem?" And from the restaurant, from the comedy.
Right. Yeah, Coach
we have
Scotty saying you got a restaurant on vacation.
From the Comedy Cove. Comedy Cove. That's the brand, Comedy Cove.
Comedy Cove. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Scott, I always call it Scotty.
No, Comedy Cove.
Scotty's is the
I
building.
I put Scott's toilet paper in my bathroom for you. Because,
No, we love
brand, right?
We get a residual for that. Anyway, so we're sitting there for dinner, and I get this phone call. We have a problem. I said, we had a young comic up there who had been to our place once before, and he got really urban, right? I said to him that Friday night,
"What does that mean, urban?"
It's street, real street.
Very racist.
And I said to him, nothing.
Patterson Street or
Orange Street.
Orange Street. Okay.
I said, you know what? Take a look at the audience. This is not a bottle club. What you're saying has no relevance. And I never say that to a comic. Never say that to a comic. I said, but he was so over the top with it, And so he got pissed. And Saturday night, he sat there like this with his girlfriend, and he'd get off and go, pay me, type of thing. I said, all right, paid him. Never saw him again. Saw him at a showcase in Manhattan with his agent. And I said, wow, this guy really turned around. I mean, he was really smart, intelligent comedy. Wasn't all that racist stuff. Okay, so I said, let's book him. We booked him.
I thought his comedy got so much better. I was laughing at him.
It was really good. I mean, it was really good.
I love the sleeper joke.
Yeah. And so I guess about 10 minutes into his act, he engages a drunk in the front row.
Right.
That was the night he was stoned. He was stoned and he was drunk. So the two of them went at it.
So I don't know if he was stoned. I mean,
yes, he was.
Well, you know what?
He kept on falling back against the wall.
You know what? I don't know. And so
he
engages. You weren't there.
Yeah.
You weren't there.
He reeked a pot.
We were in Cape May.
Oh, that night. I thought you were talking about the first time.
No, I'm talking about Cape May.
Okay.
So he engages this guy in the front row who's drunk, and that's First off, that's rule number one. Don't make that guy part of your act. Because once you engage him, he's part of your act.
Okay.
And he thinks he can say whatever the hell he wants to say.
Right.
So, and I said, wow, that's a real amateur move. You know, I'm watching this on tape in Cape May, right?
Oh, okay.
It just happened, like, you know, a half an hour before. And the guy goes around and goes, he goes, you know what? Let me go back and tell some jokes.
Huh.
And the guy goes, it's about fucking time you tell some jokes. You haven't been funny yet. And he goes, you know what? Fuck you.
Yeah,
Fuck this place. I'm out of here.
It was nasty.
You better get some other N-word here tomorrow. Maybe Seymour Swan, but this N-word is gone.
Yeah, it was bad.
So that's it. I mean, if you talk about all the years,
right?
That's
and the N-word is Norwegian, right?
Yes.
Right.
In Nigeria.
Yeah.
I remember that.
You got to pronounce it right.
You just said something. That. Okay, so I'm hoping. I mean, I want to hear your story, right? Because that's cool. But I would also like if people actually listen to this, comics, open micers, if you've got advice, right? And one of the things you said never engage the drunk guy, right? But what are some of the other rules that you know that maybe we don't know? You know what I mean? Like, I'm new to this, right?
Sure.
Like, what are some of the rules of engagement or other that you know as a comedy club owner that I don't know? And maybe
blow the light.
Don't do what?
Don't blow the light.
Don't blow the light.
When the light means that, I mean, everything is timed for a reason.
Right.
Let's put it this way. I mean, we're small potatoes, but if you go someplace like the Borgata and you blow the light, that means the next person on stage is over the time. He's going to go over the time. So all of those people, what is it? 500 people in the Borgata?
At least.
Maybe 800 people. I mean, it's a big audience. Now, the owners of the Borgata, they have different rules and they have different deals with the producers doing these shows.
It's all about the gambling.
So they make their money on the gambling.
Oh.
So if they have all these people in this showroom to watch the comedy show, and they know that the show's going to end at exactly 10:30, they know they're expecting 800 people to hit all the crap tables, all the slot machine, everything's going to hit at 10:30. They're all staffed up and ready to go to make their money. That's how they make their money. But now because one comic decides to blow his light, and he's going for 5 minutes more, 10 minutes more, then the next comic is just to do his time, and he doesn't blow his light, he's going to be still over 10 minutes. So I mean, it goes late. Now the show, instead of ending at 10:30, can go 10:45, 11 o'clock. Now, you know how much money that they take in per minute in the middle of a gambling floor? And now they're not taking all that money in.
Right.
So what do they want to do? The person running the show, they're going to go after that person running the show, the producer of that show. You put a nice show together with great comics, fill the room. You're thinking you're doing a great job, but it takes one comic to blow the light, and all of a sudden the owner of the Borgata comes after you. It looks like, you owe me at least $40,000-$50,000 now. I mean, that's scary.
Right.
That's very scary. People don't realize the things behind the scenes.
Sure.
And behind the scenes is what makes the scene happen. And it's very important. Most people don't know it.
But at the Comedy Cove, if somebody blew the light and the show went longer, you're selling more drinks.
Well, not really. Because
the comedians know,
the check drop.
The servers know what time to serve the checks.
Yeah.
Because
so
the
check is dropped already.
The show's supposed to end at 11. We tell everybody 10:30. It usually always goes to 11. So we tell all the servers, get last call at 20 after, 25 after 10.
Right.
And then follow up with the checks.
Don't forget, we were upstairs.
That's
right.
So we have to get those checks dropped.
Sure.
Because we had shows where people just left.
Right.
And
when someone comes in and they insist they want to sit at this table, and this table has to be next to the staircase to get out, there's something going on there. You tell the server, watch them.
Sure.
Make sure give them their check early, because they're going to run on the check.
Sad,
and it always works out that way.
People do that?
Yes.
I would say a lot of people, but it happens.
Certain shows.
It happens more than the exception. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that little fine line there. But
I don't want you guys drinking and driving, but
I'll take one more.
I'll have one. But
you guys, you enjoyed that more, huh? I mean, they're literally the same price, but radically different, right?
Yes.
So
yes, they are.
This is Paso Robles, which is my new favorite place for Cabernet. I mean,
Very nice.
I love, Calistoga and up in Anderson Valley and all of Napa, but Paso Robles has been my new favorite place for Cabernet.
Very good.
And what I'm going to do is, since the pizza is just about done, I'm going to go get that dessert out here.
Oh, wow.
And
You are a chef.
I'm going to pop the cookies in the oven.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
If you don't mind holding on to her for a
I'm
second.
going to
Not at all.
put my pajamas on.
Stay here, Lola.
Hey,
I'll be
Lola.
right back.
Hey.
She's wonderful. She
Yes,
doesn't
she
say a word.
is.
She's such a sweetheart, isn't she?
She
Yeah.
is.
This wine is terrific.
She's so soft.
Yeah.
Really soft.
It's too small a dog for me, but
No, I
like
love
that
this.
dog,
This is
yeah.
perfect. I love this. I like the name Lola too. I think it's
I like.
pretty.
They call me Lola.
Yeah. She's a daddy's girl. She wants to be with her daddy. A lot of sirens.
Huh?
A lot of sirens.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're in a pretty. This is pretty densely populated around here, but in Hudson County,
It
Lower
looked
Berger
it.
County,
Yeah,
you
you
got
could
a lot
tell.
of people here.
What's the name of that tequila again? In the white and blue bottle. I saw something online. It looked pretty
Casa
cool.
Robles or something? No.
I don't know, but there's this thing online. We have this. It's like a light, like a top of a light, and you know the top of a cork that can go into the bottle. You put that in, and it lights up, and people are all doing it on those tequila bottles lately.
Like what Michelle gave me.
No, nothing like that. It was totally like a real light, like a shade with a light in the middle, and you just put it, and then inside it's like a cork thing that goes into the wine. It's pretty cool.
So there's a slice missing from the key lime because Kyle had that. There's no slice missing from pecan because he was too much of a pussy.
Boy, I haven't made a pecan pie in like 20 years.
Oh, so neither of these two recipes are mine, but I'll explain.
There were no original recipes. You know that, right?
What's that?
There are no original recipes.
No, I know. But so the key lime pie is from a woman named Claire Saffitz, who's a New York Times writer and author, and she's a professional dessert person.
What's her name?
And I loved her key lime pie.
No, what's her name?
Claire Saffitz. You can find her on YouTube. I'll send you a link if you like that key lime
I always
pie.
followed Molly. I forgot her last name now. Molly. She did that in the Sunday Times magazine. She always had that last page with a recipe and a history of the food.
Oh, I don't.
Molly. Oh, I can't remember. But I loved that until they got rid of her, and they got rid of the Times. So much of 14 pounds of paper. Yeah.
Sure.
14 pounds of paper just to read that.
Hey, that tequila you have in there with the white bottle and the blue, what is that called? The tequila bottle.
Oh, that's Clase Azul. You want some?
No. What's it called?
Clase Azul.
Clase Azul.
But that's the. So I wound up buying that. We were in Cancun, and I wound up buying that while we were there. Brought it home. Want to try some tequilas? I got some nice tequilas.
No. Thank you. Now I'm looking at that bottle. My son loves that tequila so much. When he got married, he had like every table in the place had a bottle of that, and instead of the top, he put the flowers in them.
Oh, that's pretty.
So all the flowers on every table was in one of those
Boston,
bottles.
so he asked every friend that was a bartender, don't throw the bottle away.
Sure,
everybody that came, the women always at a wedding, they always want the flowers. Yes. Everybody just wanted the bottle.
That's right.
Yeah, they all like, oh, I want that. I want
still tequila in that one.
Oh.
So what are some of the other rules? Should I?
I don't think there's really a lot. There's not really a lot of rules.
This is all new, so let me just cut some slices.
Pecan. Absolutely.
A sliver.
You can have both.
You know what? I'm going to have a sliver of both. I'd like to try both, but just a sliver, not a whole cake.
Pecan. I haven't had that in a long time.
Can't see what I'm doing.
Huh.
No,
welcome to my world.
No, because I'm facing the
light.
Yeah.
There's really not a lot of rules,
It's all about having fun, enjoying yourself.
We're not that type of club where we tell you got to do this, you got to do that. You can't. The only time I ever gave advice is when someone asked for it, and I would preface the whole thing by "You sure?"
Right.
You sure? And then I would tell the truth. But I think if you wouldn't give someone advice, and I'm not a comic certainly, But if you want to get, but I watch enough that if you want to give some advice, just keep your composure.
Well, I mean,
get up there and own it.
you've been doing it for so long, though, as the host there, that you obviously knew how to respond to shit, right?
But I mean, that's
Right.
what I'm saying. Keep your composure, own it. You know, I tell you what. Yeah, I don't know if you know R.C. Smith.
Thank
I
you.
don't.
He's a crowd work type of guy. He was a warm up guy for the Chew and
Rachel
a bunch
Ray.
of Rachel Ray and a bunch of things.
Okay.
And he moved down to Florida. But one day, when I was early on working there, he says, I said to him,
No, yours.
Oh, mine?
I said, it's a bad crowd. Just before he went up, he says, it's a bad crowd. He goes, there are no bad crowds, they're bad comedians.
Really?
I said, holy shit. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Yes.
You deal with the crowd.
You can take a crowd and make them
Yeah,
a good
and
crowd.
he owned them. The MC had trouble, the feature had trouble, he owned them.
Really?
Yes.
And I said,
That's good.
wow, listen to that. There are no bad crowds, there are bad comedians.
So how did he do it? What do you think he did?
He was himself. He didn't
He was
react
himself,
negative.
and he
you know
was
what I'm saying?
hysterical. He was very
you
funny.
get guys that go up there and go, you people are shitty, you people are this, you people,
How would you do that?
that's what I say.
Some
Why would you do
comedians
that?
get upset that they're not getting laughs, and they do that. Once they do that, they've lost the entire room for the entire time they're on stage.
Yeah.
You cannot do that.
Or they
It doesn't
say,
work.
I'm doing bad. I can't believe this. This is my worst night. I can't believe I made this mistake. And then what's the audience do then? They look at him and go, let's wait for the next mistake. They're not looking at him to laugh. They're looking for a mistake now.
I wonder. Like,
Yeah, I'm amazed sometimes that people do that. But not many of them do it, but some do. Perhaps so go back to the original premise. Keep your composure.
I mean, I was in my second class with Chip. I did Up at the Rhino was the show,
Hmm.
and there was one little joke that I was supposed to tell, and I did it all backwards. And I was
happens.
like, and I was like, oh, I really screwed that up, and everybody laughed when I did. When
Yeah,
I
because
said I
they're
really
with
screwed
you.
that up.
They're
And
with
then I
you.
went on to the next one,
Right.
Yeah, but what you just did was off the cuff. I was just trying to simple. I screwed up.
Yeah,
When they get serious about it is when it goes bad.
I guess. Yeah, I'm not by any stretch good at it yet. You know, I have fun doing it. I love getting up
That's
there.
the first thing. If you can have fun doing it, you'll do well.
I
If
love
you're not
doing it.
having fun and you're just trying to get through it, it's not going to work. You have to enjoy what you're doing.
You know, I said to Kyle the other night, like, first time I went to an open mic that I actually got up, it was exhilarating. You know, I mean, and I didn't bomb. I didn't get it was a bar.
Mhm.
You know, I didn't get like a lot of laughs, but I did my thing. I got up there. I told my stories or jokes or whatever, and it was exhilarating. You know, I
That's
really enjoyed it.
great. That's very
And I
good.
said, you know, I jumped out of a plane once, and it was the same feeling.
Why?
Well, no, it was
What, were you in the military or?
no. So when my dad turned 75, my sister booked him on one of these skydiving things,
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
and then
75 years old. That's
Yeah,
scary.
Was the
So
biggest,
he did
was
it,
the
my
biggest
sister did.
state?
it was up in.
No,
No, he's making a joke.
was the
Estate.
biggest state?
Estate.
And he had?
Did he have a big
Oh, no,
estate?
Oh,
That's why your sister gave it to him.
So
She gets it.
when I looked, I didn't get it. I'm sorry, but you know, I'm not
Ba-dum-bum.
that quick. You know, so it
You're
looked
quick.
safe. It looked like they were being. So I said, I want to try it. So I did it. You know, but
Oh, shit.
so it,
I
was
would
fun.
have,
It was a tandem jump. It wasn't like I had to
I-
go pull the chute myself.
please.
I gotcha. Right.
you're jumping out of a plane. A perfectly good plane. You're jumping out of
It
it.
was fun.
Why would you do that?
Exhilarating.
Oh, my God. I would die of a heart attack on the way down. I would absolutely die of a heart attack. I'm afraid of heights.
Oh, well, yeah, but
That's funny.
in that case, like heights have nothing to do with it, right?
Are
I
you
mean,
crazy?
if you're up on a building looking down
Hmm.
and you can see cars, that's heights, right? But when you're in a plane, you're
You're above that.
yeah, you're above, right. It's just there.
That's
it's just there.
scary.
It's just
That's
there.
really scary.
You are good.
So
You
it
can
was fun.
sell refrigerators to Eskimos.
No,
Because that's
I
scary.
do know a guy who could sell. That could sell
Shell?
shoes to a snake. I do know a guy who could do that.
Easy for you to say.
Not easy. Not easy.
Oh, that's funny.
So what do you like better?
I don't know. They're both so
I love
good.
the pecan.
Pecan's good?
Yeah.
Try the key
Excellent.
lime.
Both are excellent.
You're not into key lime. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm gonna miss this because we really had some wonderful people come through that place, and people that most people didn't know we could get. Right, Bobby Collins. Bobby Collins we tripped over.
Joe Piscopo.
Bobby Collins was there for a private on a Monday night.
Still alive, Piscopo?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. He's got a radio
active.
show every
he's
morning.
got a lot going on.
But Bobby Collins we tripped over, right? He some woman came to us. They owned like catering halls. The husband, Bobby Collins, was the favorite comic, and they knew we had the comic room upstairs, and they had a birthday party for him, and it was really fun because there was a waiter that worked for him in the catering halls, Matt Christmas, Matt Christmas, and he said, "Hey, I forgot the guy's name. Lou, was it Lou?
I don't remember.
Let's make him Lou. So Lou, I'm Monday night. I'm at the Comedy Cove. I'm first time, can you come support me?" He goes, "Absolutely." Right? He's a rich guy. He was, powerful guy. And he comes in to support Matt, the waiter, right? So he comes in, and these people decorated our place. They hung curtains. They put
made the place look
flowers all
gorgeous,
over. They
beautiful.
brought their chefs in to work with our chefs. They brought waiters in to work with our waiters. I mean, it was unbelievable.
It really was
what
what they did to the place.
And so they finally surprise us downstairs, right? They go upstairs to the comedy, and he's sitting like the stage is here, that first seat right there. He's sitting with the back to the back of the room. And Matt gets up there, he tells a joke, maybe 4 minutes. He goes, "Hey, Lou." He says, "Do you mind?" I said, "What?" He goes, "I got a friend in from LA, and he wants to do a couple of minutes. Is that okay with you?" He goes, "Yeah, sure." And then Bobby Collins was up there, and the guy,
Nice.
and everybody just
the guy
went,
loses it. The guy
"Whoa," they were
loses it. Like,
"Oh,
holy
shit."
shit, my very, he was like, the wife was like, "Yep, I spent good money here." I'm not going to tell you what they paid him, but it was like, wow.
Sure.
It was
But
unbelievable.
It was
that night.
unbelievable.
That was a great night.
Bobby and I had a conversation at the end of the night, and he took my phone number, and I remember it distinctly. I was hanging photos on the wall, right? In the back of the room, the phone rings. I look, go, Bobby Collins. And I had never called him. This was it. This is the first communication since then. And he goes, I said, "Hey, Bobby, how you doing?" He goes, "Let me ask you a question. Why the fuck is your phone number on my desk for 3 months?" I said, "Because you don't know how to fucking clean." he says, "We're going to get along fine." And he was a down-to-earth guy.
Sure.
I mean,
He's a great
just
guy.
down
He
there.
is.
One day he got mad at me. He goes, there was a guy in the room. It was just absolutely adored him. He was a single, right? And he goes, "Bobby, I love you." And Bobby goes, "I love you too." At the end of the night, that was it. That was it. Right? You got that, right? That was it.
Right.
And so at the end of the night, Bobby goes to me, what the fuck? I said, "What?" He goes, "I know you don't have security here, but really?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "The guy. The guy said he loves you." He says, "Yeah, you should have been thrown out." I said, "No." That was the one particular thing with Bobby. I mean, but otherwise, he was just such a gentleman. He sold his books to give to a charity, and actually, I just said, "Give me a book." He goes, I gave him the money. He goes, No. I said, "That's a charity." And but he was that way, he was just nice. Gilbert would have taken it twice.
So that
Yes. Yes, he would.
About Gilbert, right?
Oh, Gilbert was fun.
Gilbert.
We used
Oh
to
my
forget-
God.
How much was Gilbert there?
He was
Two
here like,
times, 3 times a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
he came back every year, like a couple times,
we used to
like
have
you
to pick
said,
him up.
2-3 times a year.
We pick him up and drive him. If Gilbert never had a driver's license,
No shit.
he didn't own a car.
You
No.
had to pick him
no
up.
idea.
Yeah. So I go. He's on 22nd Street, just the block before Gotham. So
Got
we
it.
pick him up, and he would sit there. We had that big Land Cruiser, right? Sit there, say a word, nothing. Look out the window like he's a 12-year-old looking at the scene for the first time.
That's uncomfortable.
That was uncomfortable. And I'd say, "Yeah." I just start a conversation. "Hey, Gilbert, you were at Pips, right? That's where you start out?" "Yeah." Didn't Dice staying out there? Yeah, he sucked. He did Jerry Lewis's act. That's all he did until he got that Dice thing, and now he's really a star. And it was just shit like that. Then he'd be quiet.
So you had to do all the talking to have a conversation.
But he was a lovely man.
Uh-huh.
And one time I went to pick him up, and Gilbert, what did he weigh? About 100 pounds? Not that he weighed.
No,
like
he was more like 90 pounds.
Nothing.
He was
like
skin
this.
and bone.
And he had that little trolley where you put your suitcases on and stuff. He had his books and his DVDs on that. He's coming out of the condo, and I said, I got it, Gilbert. So otherwise it would take 10 minutes to go across the street.
Uh-huh.
So I take it, and I throw it in the back of the car, get in the front, and I hear the back door open. I say a word. The back door closes. I pull out. We're like halfway down the block. He goes, "Holy Christ, Gene, I'm an asshole." I said, "What?" He says, "Pull over." And they pull over. He got in the front seat.
It was kind of weird how he got in the back. It was really.
I'm an asshole. He would say things like, he would eat like 3 or 4 courses, but like
a bite from each course. He wouldn't eat the whole course.
Sure.
One day goes, "You got ice cream?"
What do you got?
I said, "We're a restaurant. Sure, we have ice cream. What flavors?"
All of them.
Vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry.
I'll take all of them.
No, he didn't say that. He said, "Could I have a little bit of each?"
A little bit of each.
And he didn't drink. At the end of the show, every show, he'd come up and go, "Hey, Gene, what? You think I could have a Merlot?"
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, he was funny. And he would sell books. He sold the books the first time there for 20. Then it went to 25. Then it went to 30. As he knew it was.
And it was his book.
Yeah, it's his book. Bulls and liquor, alcohol and bowls.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And he would just up the prices on everything. And he was selling like crazy.
That was funny.
Shit.
Yeah. And Collins would sell a lot of books. And Collins would go, "Do me a favor, you collect the money because I don't want it doesn't look good if I collect the money."
But Collins gave all the money to a charity.
Oh, no, I know that. Yeah. No, I know that.
Gilbert did not give it to a charity. Gilbert's money was Gilbert's money.
And he'd say that.
Yeah.
You came to see Gilbert Godfrey? Go to fuck home.
Yeah, because now you got it. Now go home. Yeah.
That killed me every time. That and I don't know if you know Coleman Green.
I don't.
Coleman Green is a big, heavy-set black guy from the Philadelphia area.
Funny.
Very funny. He was at one of those on the Verizon commercials where they had the green.
He was a pixel.
Oh,
pixel.
He was the bright pink pixel.
He was a pink pixel. So to this day, he can do that, and it cracks me up. He'd go like 5 minutes or 7 minutes into his act, and he'd just look at the audience and go, "You mind if I ask you a favor?" I'd like to dedicate this show to my late father. Now you get the
yes.
Yeah. Because that asshole should have been here a half an hour ago.
That was good. That was really good.
That was to this day I crack up with that. I know it's coming. I absolutely know it's coming, but it just cracks me the hell up. I love Coleman.
He's a great guy.
Nice.
And a gentleman. He's a gentleman.
Yes, he is.
So the place you're looking to do, you want it close to where you live, or does it matter how far away? Like how far are you willing to drive?
I never even thought of that end of it.
Well, I wouldn't want to go to Rockland County.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
The closer, the better.
Right, of course. No, because I know a place that's closer. It's not in Rockland County, but it's like the next town. It's in New Jersey. It's in Rockley, New Jersey.
Right.
There's this Mexican place up there called Zapata.
Rockley's a small town.
And it's a big place. What's that?
Rockley's a small town.
Rockley's a small town, but it's right there.
It's a rich town.
It is. That's actually where my company is, where I work. But now, since COVID, I work from home.
Mm-hmm.
COVID's the best thing that ever happened to me.
That's the worst thing that happened to us.
I know.
It just killed the business. Never got back.
A lot of places went out of business.
Well,
yeah, I know.
What do we do with COVID? We taught people how to drink at home.
Right. You don't have to come out to eat and drink
$40
anymore.
bottle of bourbon, and it lasts them all week.
Right.
Or you get a $35 tab at the bar.
You're not supposed to tell people that. Right?
But it's
I
true.
guess
That's
now
what
the cat's out of the bag.
Everyone knows since COVID.
No, I didn't invent anything here.
Oh, man. No, because there's a place called Zapata up in. It's called Palisades. It's just across the border from Rockland in New York. So it's Rockland County. But it's a big place, and I'm friendly with the owner. I could introduce you, but if that's too far, there's no point. But it's a big place. Like they have a side room and a big room so there might be opportunity. But
What's that? Is that next to Old Japan?
it is right next to Old Japan. Yeah, it's kind of. Yeah, so when I
used to work in
drive
Old
up there,
Japan, so
it's like a fucking hour from here.
Yeah.
Like it's 20 miles, but it's an hour. It's horrible. But
I used to think the Palisades
the
Parkway.
place is nice, yeah. Well, right, but when you go into work in the morning, the Palisades Parkway, getting there, you have to
They go
from
for
here,
late, yeah.
You got to go towards the bridge.
Yep,
it's
that's the problem.
a friggin' nightmare.
Yep. Oh, Jesus Christ, you're bringing back memories for me. I remember we opened up the store up there, and I called. I overslept, and I called my assistant. I said, "Do me a favor." He lived in Fairview. He says, "Can you go up there and open?" I just woke up.
Huh.
And you know that turn when you're coming off of what was 80,
Right.
and you go up to make the left.
Yep.
Right. There's a traffic light.
Yep.
I'm pulling up there, and there's my assistant on the side of the road with his car all bagged up.
Oh, the poor
shit.
guy.
So everybody was outside the store waiting for somebody to open the damn thing. But the poor guy did me a favor and got his car all bagged up.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Oh,
I loved Old Japan. That's a lovely town.
good touch.
One of our customers was Gigante's wife.
I usually do just 2 in this pan, and that's why. So they're touching. It's okay. We'll separate the sideways.
There you go.
It'll be fun.
Okay.
Did you guys watch? I started to watch that thing last night. You know that thing.
Oh, the debate?
Yeah,
I
We
watched
watched
it,
it.
yeah.
Yes.
I stopped a half hour and I couldn't.
No, we
continue.
watched it.
You know what? He had an
But here's
opportunity.
the thing, though, right? You already know who you're voting for,
Yes.
right? That's my question.
No, but
You're-
no. We know
There's a lot of people
because
that
we
don't know.
follow.
Right.
But there's a lot of independents out there that just flip and flop either
Really?
way.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I'm an independent.
Well,
So if you're an independent, did you know ahead of time before watching last night who you were voting for? Or were you waiting to see this before you were going to make your
I
decision?
still think that both of them are scary prospects. Both. Of them.
yeah, one's a proven prospect.
Right. Like I said, the best year I ever had was 2019. The
And he
second
was a
best
proven
year
prospect. He
was
did what he's supposed to do.
2018.
No.
Now,
When
is
he was
is
in
a
office,
caricature?
everything was
Absolutely.
wonderful.
And I agree with you on that point. However, the thing that scares me is that whole Project 2025 thing.
It's not him.
And I know
They
that.
keep putting his name on it, but he made it clear he has nothing to do with
I
it.
know it's not him. I know that. But they could convince him to start adopting some of that
Nah.
shit. You don't think?
No, I don't
He's
really.
not
He's his
easily
own
swayed.
man.
He
I
is
mean,
his own man.
and
That's what I like
that's
about him.
sometimes his worst enemy.
See, when I first saw him talk the first time, when he
I
first
know
ran,
sometimes the way he
No,
talks,
no.
it can turn you off. It does
No, no,
turn
no.
everybody off.
I was like, this is what I want to hear, right? Put America first.
He's a businessman.
Put
He's not a
America first.
politician.
I
That's
agree.
why he puts
And you're
America
business
first.
people.
Yeah, but when
right?
you look at like
And
a
that's the
Biden
thing,
is 100% politician. He's not a businessman. He's a politician. And then you look at how a politician runs the country. You look at how a businessman runs the country. It's totally different. The
If-
businessman really puts the country first.
If he
No,
positioned
And I
himself,
agree with you.
if he positioned
all of
himself a
that.
little bit different,
Oh,
I-
make
hold
no
on.
mistake. I
No,
think he's going to win my landslide.
yes,
I hope
think so
I
too.
hope so.
But if he positioned himself a little bit different, because he is Reagan-esque, but he doesn't have that aura that Reagan had. Reagan was unbelievable. I mean,
Reagan
it's
was the
absolutely
best.
unbelievable.
Yes, he was.
You know, 49 states out of 50.
I mean,
Jesus.
Yes.
Look,
I mean, come on.
Michael J. Keaton's favorite guy was Reagan.
Right.
Who could, you know who Michael J. Keaton is, right?
Yes.
Of course you do. You don't remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
Batman.
No. You're talking about Michael Keaton. I'm talking Michael.
Oh, the kid from
The kid that got Parkinson's now. What's his
Yeah.
name? Michael Fox, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
he was on Family Ties, remember?
Right.
Yeah.
Alex P. Keaton.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, the other guy on that show wanted to come work for us.
Oh.
I forget his name now. He was out of Boston. And his big claim to fame was the Boston Globe said, the hilarious or something. I was on every one of his advertisements. I can't remember his name. I met him up at the Chiller. He was a Chiller signing autographs.
Oh, out in Parsippany?
Yeah. Yeah. Because he wanted to do a show on a Sunday. He was.
Oh, I remember that.
He was a go-getter. He said, "I'm going to be there. I have family time."
Yep.
So, okay, let's go do it.
Huh?
And we did it. We had no reservations.
Right.
So I said, "Listen, we got to cancel this thing. It's not going to happen." He says, "Well, I'm sorry. So I'll come up and meet you." It was we sat and had we smoked and joked for a little bit, and that was it. But yeah, he was a nice guy. I can't think of his name though. For
I remember
reason.
that. Yeah.
But he's doing well. He's touring the country now.
Good for him.
Yeah.
That is good.
He was a really nice man. That's what I mean. We met a lot of nice people over the years.
That's the best part of the business.
Kevin
is the
Meaney.
people. It really is.
God.
Yes. So talk about that.
Kevin Meaney, we met because we did a little thing with a guy by the name of Mike Warsaw.
Okay.
Mike Warsaw is an MC feature. He's a local guy. I guess he lives down the street in Lyndhurst.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was also the door guy or the host at Gotham.
Yep.
And he gave that job to
Ed Kavanaugh.
And he came to us at one point and said, "Hey, I want to do this thing. Like, I'm going to sell this. It's going to be this and that." And my first reaction was, "Holy shit, my wife's not going for this," and she went for it. So we helped fund this whole thing. We had 28 comics in 2 days.
Nice.
Top notch. Yeah.
Uncle Floyd was the MC.
Nice.
And then, I don't know if you remember the back of the room, that little post that by the bar.
Yeah.
That's where I always stand.
Huh?
Uncle Floyd goes, "Can I have this space? Because I got to run the show." I said, "Yeah, okay." So, and Uncle Floyd ran it like he was just an MC. I mean, it wasn't like, I'm Uncle Floyd, you're not. He ran it. What a pro. He was just that. I feel so bad for that man. So bad.
I love him.
So downstairs, we had no room for all these comics. So downstairs in that back room that you mentioned, we just put a buffet out. Chicken wings, this and that, and all fried stuff.
Sweet.
Yeah, no.
Not sweet.
No, because Kevin Meaney comes to me and goes, "Hey, I don't want to be a pain in the ass, but I can't eat this stuff. I'm a vegetarian." And
what?
Yeah.
Is he really a vegetarian?
That's what he said. He lost a lot of weight in those days.
Yeah, if you saw one of the old pictures of him, which no one ever saw from the old days,
A lot of weight.
he was like twice or more than twice the size.
Wow.
I mean, he really lost a lot of weight.
I said, "I'll make you a salad." And I know if I go into the kitchen, they're going to be like, "We don't have time." So I said, "I'll make you a salad like I make for myself." He goes, "Fine." So I went in there, made a salad for him, gave it to him. "Thank you so much. I really appreciate this." Well, after about 5 times of hearing that during the end of the night, I said, "Kevin, I gave you a salad, not a Rolex.
Well,
I appreciate it,
funny.
but it's done." That's the type of guy he was. He was just it broke my heart because I do my scheduling on an Excel sheet, right? And I put it in pencil, and then when I book it, I circle it.
Okay.
And then I reprint it, right, at some point. And I had Kevin here, Kevin there, Kevin there when he died. And I looked at that thing and said, "Oh my God." He was so nice. He took open micers and had coffee with them in Manhattan.
That's
Gave him
nice.
advice. I mean, the man was just, I would love him to be my brother. I mean, he was just that type of man.
And when he hit the stage,
class.
he just never stopped laughing the entire time he was on.
Yeah.
He was not just a comedian; he was like a showman. Like
Yes.
he'd get on stage and like he was doing this thing, like his arms would go up, and he'd be holding on to the railing of the curtains, and he'd be
that was.
and all of a sudden he'd start singing, and it'd be like, "Oh!" And the whole room was just hysterical. Like he
No,
just
what
couldn't
that
stop
was
laughing.
what that was. I think Carson knew how to die on stage, right? He knew how to retrieve it when he died. Meaney knew how to retrieve it because he would tell a joke and it would fucking lay there, right? And he'd just look at the audience and go, "I don't care, I don't care," and he'd go into this whole Broadway type of thing.
And he's
"I don't care if you
singing,
laugh."
and he's got a great voice. But he's very dramatic, with the arms and the hands.
That's
And
funny.
he was.
He
Really
was like,
good.
what's his name? The one we always tell Carl he looks like.
Carl.
Help me, the birdcage.
Oh,
Broadway.
Robin Williams?
no. The guy.
Yeah, Robin was in it, but
Robin was in
the
it.
counter.
I don't remember the other guy.
Yeah.
The guy that was like real flame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was flaming.
Oh, he was great.
And that's what Kevin would remind you when you get into that whole thing. I don't care. I don't care. His
Oh,
joke,
funny.
his great joke was when he came out. Is she okay?
She's walking at a reflection.
She thinks it's another dog.
Sometimes.
Oh.
Is she special needs?
This is mommy's.
I'm allowed to say that. I'm sorry.
Mommy's puppy. So
Well, she seems like she's
home
daddy's
alone with
puppy.
Daddy. Sometimes she'll look out the window and she looks a little bit depressed.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, I've been thinking about helping her with her suicide.
Oh my God.
Wow. That's funny.
No.
That's good. But it's a limited audience.
Yeah.
Aw.
Now,
So-
Kevin Meaney was really,
Was Louis Anderson ever at your place?
Nope.
no.
Never, huh?
Nope.
There was somebody.
Nick
One
DiPaolo
of
was
the open
there.
micers was friends with Louis Anderson, though, wasn't he?
Yeah. You know what?
Chris,
that guy?
Monty,
Yeah.
Chris Monty was good friends with Louis Anderson because the two of them were in the same movie together.
Okay.
What was that movie called?
The Mall Cop.
Mall Cop 2?
There was another
Horrible.
guy. I don't remember.
That
Who
was-
I
that was
remember
really
the
not a
guy
good movie.
at one of these open mics.
Actually, that's the movie that made Vic DiBenedetto.
Oh,
Mall Cop 2.
Actually, what made Vic was the
The Milk and Bread.
milk and bread
Yeah.
and milk, because
Bread and milk.
it was really he
New
he
Jersey's
tripped
known
over
for that.
it. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, he just made this little vignette, and
It was snowing
it was
out.
perfect because every weather guy around the country would pick that up.
Yep.
Maybe it's going to snow tomorrow. Hey,
Yeah.
you know, and it just, I mean, I remember him. I remember Vic coming in and going, "Hey, where's Gino? Where's Gino?" And I say, "Hey, I'm here." He goes, "Yeah, 30,000 hits, 30,000," and that graduated up to like 1,000,000.
uh-huh,
Right? Hey, where's Gino? 1,000,000 hits.
uh-huh.
So he became a big star, and he has
That's
call my guy, call my manager. That he was the most ungrateful guy in the business.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, yes.
He just dumped everybody.
Dumped everybody. He wouldn't take Chip Cootie's phone calls.
And him and Chip Cooney were good
They
friends
grew up together in
for
business.
years since they were very young.
Pips and
Yep.
all those places. And Chips would come to me and go, "I can't believe Victor's." I said, "There's a rich on my calls." She says, "I know him for like, you know him like that for like 30 years or something."
Yeah.
Wouldn't take a phone call.
He changed a lot after that. He really did. And all the comics say it too.
Yeah.
All the comics. I haven't found one comic, not one, that
Yep.
like or respect him.
They really
Anybody any of these?
They're really disappointed. And you know what?
Okay.
Oh, my. Oh, that's the. Wow, look at that.
That's from the 40s.
From the 40s.
That's in the 40s, yep.
I don't know if we're in front. Yeah, we should be in front.
If you look close, you can see the trolley cars in the middle of the street where the tram car went.
It's a trolley car.
Trolley car.
Tram cars.
Tram
in
car.
Wildwood.
Trolley car. What's that, the 60s?
Oh, it says.
Oh.
60s.
Yes, the
Yeah.
60s.
Oh, yeah, it says it right there. 60s. Wow. This is great.
And that's probably the 80s, maybe?
Yeah, I don't want to get them dirty.
Don't worry about it. They were hanging in a restaurant.
The 80s.
Those were good years.
Yeah, great years.
Smuggler's Cove.
That's where I met my
Great
wife
years.
there.
That's,
Oh, no
yeah,
shit.
we met in the 80s, yep. He was a customer and I was the bartender.
And I was a blind
Oh,
date.
shit.
He said
I-
I made the best bourbon Manhattan ever.
McCormick's?
That's
yeah,
my last
that
name.
was a small
In the
interim, yeah.
In the 90s.
Oh, so where's Schmidt?
That was the transition
No,
between...
our last name is Nagel, but my maiden name is McCormick.
God, no, I know, but where's River McCormick and Schmick's, the restaurant? No.
Oh, no, we have nothing to do with that.
And there's Scotty's. The
That's a
2000.
seafood restaurant.
Yeah,
Yep.
seafood restaurant. Holy shit, this is awesome.
Is this
Oh,
coming
that's
off
it.
for me?
That's
Okay.
it.
Is that coming off for me?
You got a scratch on you,
It's still on you.
on your neck. Yeah, they're still lit.
Yep.
Those
Okay.
mics are actually pretty good. You know,
Yeah, I met her there. We went out on a blind date.
no shit.
And well, I used to see him come in as a customer,
And I was really a hunk.
and I used to think he was very good looking. And my girlfriend liked his friend. And his friend asked my girlfriend out on a date, and she didn't want to go alone, so she says, "Can we go on a double date?" She says, "Why don't you bring a friend and I'll bring a friend?" So he brought Jean and she brought me, and that's how we ended up going out.
No shit.
Yep.
Ow.
Hot stuff, huh?
I hit the, yeah.
Yeah, 1981.
Wow. 81's when I graduated high
80,
school.
no, 80.
It was 82, actually.
82.
Well, I used to see you in 81, but I never had the guts to talk to you yet.
Yeah,
We started dating in 82.
Well, yeah. I can understand that. I couldn't approach me. Yeah, I used to look at her and salivate.
So, go.
But she wouldn't. She mentions, she mentions that bourbon Manhattan.
Oh.
But she wouldn't give me. My office is down the street, right? So we would go there. That was our liquid lunch there all the time. Right?
Okay.
And
that was the early 80s when everybody was drinking a lot of liquor during the day.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, we'll just digress a little bit. 11:45, they're knocking on the door at this place, right? To get in. And all of us guys were the old place. And then we told her father, Scotty, you don't have to remodel this for us. We are happy, but there's a big joint now, right? So they're knocking on the door. Then they would go to the bar, have 1, 2, then go to a table and eat lunch. And then the real workaholics would go back to work. Right. The other guys went back to the bar. And the workaholics came back at happy hour. I mean, it was unbelievable.
It was just nonstop drinking.
It was unbelievable drinking.
That was the bartender.
Absolutely unbelievable drinking.
Well, I remember
guys sitting at the bar going, let me buy you a drink. I said, how much? Buy them all a drink. I said, what the hell are you doing?
Christ.
What the hell are you doing? He goes, I got to make you look like a fucking dinner.
The bill has to be extra $9 to put on,
make it look like a dinner. And they were in the old days. We used to write on the back of it who was there at the dinner.
Reagan changed all that.
Yeah.
That killed us.
Accounts.
That killed us, and DWI killed us.
Right now. Oh yes, the Women Against Drunk Drivers killed us.
There's no politician in the world that can stand up to do Mothers Against Drunk Drivers.
No,
you just shoot yourself in the head.
Right.
And that killed it.
MADD, right?
Right.
Yep.
So that's when it became McCormick's.
Okay.
Which was a family style.
Got it.
But we weren't in that neighborhood.
No.
So we should have been like
the menu change.
Oh, it changed every 4 times a year.
That was a big that was a big change. That was a big change.
I mean, from when you went from one brand to another.
Well, we got it in 1957, and it was Walter's 2 bars.
Continental.
And it was Continental, and my father changed it 3 years later, and it went to 2 years later, and changed it to Squire's Table. And it was really, I mean, I was alive, but it was really before my time. It was like, the red wallpaper with the black velvet on it, going back, and that's like with the black leather. I don't know what you call it, but it was just kind of weird. But it was like a steakhouse, and everybody went there, and they had their steaks and stuff. And then and that was just the Squire's Table for probably about 2-3 years until he changed it to Charlie O's. And Charlie O's today is still our corporate name. Charlie O's back then was the name of the restaurant. And we were getting everybody in from the Paper Mill Playhouse, and like Shelley Winters would come and have dinner and sit with us and stuff. I remember all those years. But we kept Charlie O's for a few years, and then by the time the 70s came around, he changed it to Smuggler's Cove and went with all seafood. And he had all the nets from the ceiling hanging with the fish in there. And it was like all seafood restaurant. And for entertainment, we had bands, and we had like good rock and roll bands in the 70s. And we were like really rocking and rolling. It was a good business. And
Smokey Warren.
Oh yeah, Smokey Warren. I remember them. Yep. There was a lot of good
across
ones.
the street from me?
Who?
Smokey Warren?
No. Dennis Dyken.
You
might not know the name, but if I tell you the band, he's the drummer for the Smithereens.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
He was right in that house right there across the street.
Oh wow.
That's
super,
funny.
super nice guy.
Wow.
I mean, yeah.
No, we used to see Smokey. I ended up meeting Smokey Warren and Dottie Mae and all them up in Palisades Park. We met them there.
You played
Yes,
there all the time.
Yep. And they came to the restaurant. They were playing. We had all different kinds of bands back then. They were great bands. But then what had happened was the 70s turned into the 80s, and everything changed, and it went from rock and roll to disco.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So the bands were like dying out, and everybody wanted to go do disco. So we got rid of the bands, and we brought in DJs, and we started with all the DJ music, and it took off like crazy.
Everybody wanted to do the hustle.
The place was doing great. All through the 80s, we did fantastic. It was all it was disco. Everything
Actually,
was.
the crowd that you would have on a Friday night there is basically the crowd you would have Monday through Friday now. I mean, it was absolutely, like we said before about the happy hour and all that
Right.
stuff. After the happy hour, you had the family dinners. At 10 o'clock, you had
Right.
the night crowd
Sure.
to go to 2 o'clock. I mean,
Yes.
so it was like clock round.
That's
I mean, it
great.
was absolutely, there was
Everything
no,
changed.
there was
The
no low.
time of the day, it just
there was
kept
no
changing.
low
Right.
at all.
It
Zero
just
low.
kept changing.
I mean, I sat there sometimes when I was dating her at the bar because I'm known to have a drink or two. And I turn around and go, holy shit, there's like 3 deep in back of me.
Uh-huh.
And I walked in, there was nobody. I mean, the bar was full. There's a 48-stool bar. And I turned around and there was 3 deep.
Right.
I mean, those days were,
Yeah,
oh my God, they were unbelievable.
they were. They really were.
So there was a place in Guttenberg called Nagel's Candies.
Yeah.
Any relation?
No.
There was a place in Guttenberg and there was a place in on Route 23.
Yes.
No relation. No. And it was a Nagel's pork store.
Okay.
Yeah, no relation. I get that once. I get that once every 10 years. You Nagel? No, not me. Not me. No. Guttenberg on a side street too. It was pretty famous.
It's a tiny little town.
Yeah, on a side street. It wasn't like on Bergenland Avenue or something. It was just a side street. And Nagel's was down the street from you.
Yeah.
Right.
Nagel's, yeah.
Yeah,
no.
I remember. It was what 78. There, I lived in Palisades Park, and down the hill there was a soap factory disco.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
But on Sundays they'd open it for teens. You had to be less
Yep.
than 18 to go in. Right?
Yep.
So here I am, 16 years old. I'm going on a Sunday afternoon, and there's pretty girls there.
Yeah.
And disco.
You're a regular John Travolta.
Not this, but yeah, okay. But I loved rock, right?
Right.
There was a bunch of guys in my high school that would, they'd go there with disco sock shirts. And
Right.
there'd be fights in the parking lot.
Right.
But I was there because there's pretty girls there.
Right, of course.
And then finally, after a lot of things going on, they started putting bands instead of the disco, and they stopped the disco and it became a rock club, right? And when I saw what the rock and roll girls looked like, I was like, fuck this, I'm going back to disco. Oh my God.
You got a point.
That's
You got a
funny.
Oh my
point.
God.
That is so funny.
But my son's a music guy. Like, he plays the drums and he plays the bass. And he's like hardcore into. Well, he's into everything. Like when he was at the School of Rock, they asked him, what's your favorite song?" And he said, "Home at Last, Steely Dan," right? Because it's complex, right?
Right.
There's a lot of pieces to it, right? But he's in a death metal band now,
Okay.
and he's also in one of those whiny emo bands,
Okay.
right? And he's the drummer, But so his girlfriend is actually in the death metal band. She does the growling.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not into that kind of thing. But when I watch them,
I hate to say, I don't even know what you're talking about.
they're really tight. Like, the band is really tight.
Really?
And the girl, she's super sweet. And I can't believe that she picked it up because she wasn't really a singer. She just likes that music and she just decided to learn how to do it.
Right.
And she does all that growl. And they're really good. Like, I'm not into.
I don't
that
know
kind
that
of music.
genre. I'm just trying.
So I can play some for you later if you want.
Is it like Yoko
Yeah, like
Ono?
Joe Son. Joe Son does that kind of music.
Oh, that's heavy metal. That's really
heavy metal.
That's
It's like death
that's
metal.
yeah. That's her. She's talking about death metal.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Well,
no, not necessarily.
Oh, come on, Laurielle. We were at Maxwell's in Hoboken to see the kid.
Yeah.
They don't turn the lights on in the room.
Right.
And they come up and everything's fucking kill, fucking die.
Yeah,
What the hell?
Yeah.
Whoa, it's a love song.
But the band is really musically tight.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when you hear them, like you hear the bassist do his thing, and you hear my son doing his thing and it's really good shit. Like,
Oh, that is good.
it's not one of those kinds of bands that you could have like at a wedding.
Of
Unless
course. Yes.
Unless it's one of those piercing weddings, right?
I've never been to a piercing
Yeah.
wedding. I don't know.
Wow. You know what? The generation gap is here right now. I thought Woody Herman was tight.
Oh, man.
God.
Get this out of here.
Hey.
All righty. Let's see if they'll separate. It's cookie time.
Cookie time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Could I have my slippers now?
Yeah. Kyle missed out on his cookie. That was the sodomy.
The sodomy.
So Mr.
Where did you come up with that name?
So actually, it's a spur of the moment, right? Like I was doing the mic at your place, and legitimately, I really hadn't written anything.
Okay.
But I was thinking about the election coming up,
Right.
And so everything I said was kind of like coming from just me talking,
Right.
you know. And I was like, I know half the troops are going to hate me soon because you're going to assume,
right?
And we, so I went through that whole thing. But then at the end, when Gene shined the light, I was like, well, I'm going to start this podcast. Because I had been talking to my neighbor for a while, and he has this idea about bringing people from the town in and, promoting it on the town website or whatever. My big problem is, like, my wife's out of town now, but having people over, because this is my house, right?
Right.
Having people over while my wife is home, it's like she doesn't like people come over.
Well, I understand that.
Yeah. So maybe if I do it once every couple of weeks, we just have people in the backyard, it'll be fine. But you see how we have the lights are fine.
Right.
But in a few months, it's going to be too cold for this, right?
Yeah.
Right, yes.
So, but it'll be fun. Like if we get some viewers, and we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that people will see this and say, hey, Gene, I got an idea for...
There you go.
Right?
Yes.
Right, because I know Chip's chomping at the bit for this, right?
Right.
Like he wants you guys to have something soon, I'm sure.
Right.
And you've got a lot of connections
Chip
with
is a great guy.
people that you used to do things with. Like I'm sure it's all going to gel once you find a new spot to do it.
Right.
And then we'll
the
all
comics
go
will
there at the
keep
crack of
asking.
dawn to sign up.
No, the comics keep asking. They're looking for us to do something, and I'd like to do something. I really would.
Because like, what's his name? Carl was doing something at the Reserve Club. But it really needs to be a place that's designated for comedy.
Right.
Right.
That's not the place.
Right. Dingo's is actually pretty cool because they have that back room, but you can't put enough people back there.
Where is Dingo's?
It's in Clifton.
Okay.
There's Dingbats is a rock club, and then across the street is Dingo's Den. It's a nice
Was it about 40, 50 people?
bar. I don't think you'll
Less,
even fit that many
yeah.
in the back room, right?
I mean, if you could do 80 people, that you could do something, but less than 80.
So that's the number, right? That's your magic number.
Yeah. I would say that, that's really, if the deal is correct,
Right.
But that's probably the minimum you could do.
Right.
I wouldn't
I
go
think
over. I wouldn't go over 120.
You wouldn't do over.
No.
I was thinking 150 to 200. No, 120.
No.
You
That's
won't
a
always
big-
fill it
no.
then.
That's what made our club. Our
It
club.
depends, right?
Our club was intimate.
Right.
Right. It wasn't
Well,
the
how many did
300.
you fit again in your room? Upstairs?
100. I could put. I had 140 in there one night, which was a crazy night.
There was
It
standing.
was Craig Loigren did
Okay,
his.
so I'm having a hard
Craig
time.
Loigren did his tape there, right?
Yes.
We doubled the size of the stage.
Right.
We put backlighting up on the thing, and he had 5 cameras, one on a sled, and he did his. Look at his
Right.
DVD
Yeah, I'll have to
on
watch
YouTube. Craig
'Cause
Loigren.
I was there during
Married in-
Carl's.
Yeah,
And Craig was there for Carl's. Remember?
Married and Miserable.
Yeah, Married and
It's really well done, and he brought people from Staten. He's from Staten Island at the time.
He brought him in. He
people
brought in
in a
buses.
bus.
Buses.
They
of
gave
people,
out
yeah.
T-shirts, and these people kept on coming. They were standing, and then we wound up to be like 143 people, which was like crazy. We sit 115, very nice. 100 is perfect.
Nice.
120 we can do. I think our seating chart would be like 118 or something like that.
Right.
But but it's intimate.
Yes.
If you go to the
That's
old
important.
Rascals, the new Rascals, right? It was 300 people, 250 people.
Right.
There's
And in the
nothing to see
summertime,
there.
you kind of
The old Rascals was wonderful. It was tight. It was,
Yes.
it
I
was-
remember the old Rascals in one of the oranges. Was
West
West
Orange.
Orange,
Yes.
yeah.
It was
I've been there
that
a
was
few
the
times.
original. But then apparently, when I talked to Eddie owned the place, and when I talked to him, I says, "Why would you move?" He says, "They made me an offer I couldn't refuse. The bank
the
wanted
bank bought it.
The bank bought it.
Got
He
it.
says they came in with a number that he says it blew me away. I had no idea that the place was even worth anything like that. He couldn't say no, so he took it and moved it to
Montclair.
Montclair. That was right.
Shame of it is that was a great franchise. That name was gold, absolutely gold.
No.
And they owned. They had a TV show, by the way.
I didn't know
The
that.
original owners, yeah. they had tapes like Seinfeld, this guy, that guy,
Sure.
way before they were even. You could mention the name and go, sign who, you know?
Yeah.
And they owned all those rights to those things.
Did you see our lights that come up across facing the stage? The
Yeah.
lights on the ceiling.
Uh-huh.
Well, Rascals had cameras in the lights. There was a light, a camera, a light, a camera. So everyone that went on their stage were being filmed. And this is before all these lawsuits really happened. This is back in the 80s. And they were filming all these guys before they made it.
Right.
So now you look at like Eddie Murphy and you look at Seinfeld and you look at all these guys. And yet Eddie, the guy that owned Rascals, has all the tapes of all these big stars before they made
all
it.
the tapes.
He had all these tapes from Rascals. So it's amazing how he had them all. And you can get away with actually putting them out there and making money on them. Whereas today, you can't film anybody unless you get their permission. They have to sign all these, releases first. But this is before then. This is back in the 80s. Everything in the 80s, anything and everything went. I mean, I used to go, him and I would go on dates to, oh my God, Action Park. You know how many times I got hurt there? People were killed there. It was like nobody would sue back then. We weren't as litigious back in the 1980s as we are today. So people weren't suing. So like they could get away with doing those kind of places. And every single day they were open to people being hurt.
On Action Park.
Yes.
Or something, right?
It's like the amount of people that were hurt and killed and they got away with it. And then the insurance company says, sorry, we're not going to insure you anymore.
Right.
But he was making so much money, he decided to open up his own insurance company and insure himself, which I didn't know that was even legal, but he got away with it.
Wow.
I mean, it's just like amazing what they used to do back then and get away with. You could never get away with that today. Never. The court system wouldn't let you.
You've tried.
No, I never tried, but I've watched everybody else do it.
All right, we hit the lull.
Did we?
Yeah, just a second. There was a little lull here.
Yeah, it's an uncomfortable silence. You want to learn a bar trick?
Sure.
Right back.
What?
Learn a bar trick.
A bar trick?
A bar trick.
Okay. I'm in.
I can't finish. I'm so full. Thank you.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really, really full. I'm starting to feel that little nauseous back. I ate too much.
These are good. Did you make these?
Delicious.
Cookies?
Yeah, you made them right in front of us. In that.
No, I mean to make.
Yeah, I did them. Which one's empty? Is this one empty?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, the trick is, and I'm not going to tell everybody on camera the solution.
They're both empty.
The trick is that I can get this cork out of the bottle faster than you can get it into the bottle, like it's going to be floating down there. I can get it back out without breaking the bottle. That's the trick. Now, granted, it's going to be very, very hard to get it in, right? Like you see how getting it in is going to take a while. And then after we're done filming, I'll show you how it works. But you can pop it all the way in. You could use the back of a knife or something. Don't cut yourself. I don't have insurance for that.
That's how you own the house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see you.
So, right. And then I could get it back out.
Oh, this is hard. I can't get it in.
I said that once.
Yeah.
Let me see if I have
a hammer?
An implement.
Implement. I can't get it. You get it in first?
No, you're doing good.
No, come on.
No.
Help me.
No, he's going to.
Yeah. I don't have anything handy. But yeah, you see how hard it is to get it in, right?
That's about as far as it's going to go for me.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Let's see.
Ooh,
Oh, very good.
Yeah, but the edge of the it's a messed up fork. Hold on, maybe this.
Yeah, but you might cut yourself. Be careful.
Yep.
Ooh.
Okay. It's in.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. When we shut the camera off, I'll show you how to get it out.
Why? Is this something really bad?
Tune in next week.
I don't want them to know.
Oh, okay.
Those people?
Those people.
Those people.
The good ones.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, my God.
Well, this has been lovely. I got to tell you.
Hey, I'm really happy you guys
lovely.
came. Well, I'm going to shut off the camera. I think we're.
Okay.
Unless you want to tell us more about. I was hoping to get a lot of insight as to, what it was like to run the comedy club, and
It was fun. You
things-
just got to enjoy what you do. You got to have a good
You
time.
know what? When we closed the joint that Saturday night,
Mhm.
and we went up on stage, and I said, "Listen, Mark Twain said, if you enjoy what you're doing, you'll never work a day in your life."
That's
And that's
true.
what we did. That's exactly
Gotta
what
enjoy
we did. We enjoyed it. I mean, you was asked before about troubles and problems. Minimal. I think I threw maybe 4 parties out in 10 years, maybe.
Got it.
Maybe. But we had no problem with them. We had a very nice, loyal clientele. In the comics, they did love the joint.
Sure.
You know, they did love, and I know they could have made more money other places, but they loved the joint.
Well, right,
and that's what we were. We were a joint. You know, we were that club. You know.
Well, you got to figure if someone's doing a tour around, right? They're going to stop somewhere around here anyhow.
Right.
Right.
That's exactly the relationship I had with Bobby Collins.
Right.
He would do 500-600 seater, and then whatever the Friday to Saturday, Gene, you got a spot? Yep, got a spot for you. And he would do that.
Because he's going to be in town that weekend. Yeah.
So what he made with us compared to what he made over there is probably a fraction.
Sure.
Yeah, like
But
you go to
he
the
enjoyed it,
Borgata.
and he enjoyed the
500-600
ambiance.
seats.
He enjoyed the ambiance.
Right.
Plus, let's say somebody's working on putting together a special.
Right.
Right. They need to do enough shows where they're going to have enough practice so that when they finally get it filmed for the mass production, right? So they want to do it in a bunch of different places to get the feel for it, right? I would think.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't know. There's nothing really around here. I mean, you got Bananas, but they don't do a mic, right?
I don't. You know what?
New
There's not
Brunswick.
a
don't
lot of
sound-
bikes.
I don't want to sound naive, but I look at the Bananas lineup, and maybe I'm just too old or unhip, but I don't get the comics out of there.
They used to be really good.
I don't
10,
know.
15 years ago.
We don't know that they're not good.
No,
Yeah,
15 years ago they had top notch.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't know
They
these
did.
comics out of there.
I don't know them
So-
either.
Are you familiar with East Rutherford here? There's a restaurant called Paisanos.
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
And they have the last Thursday of the month, they have a headliner come in. And they
Okay.
have comedy nights, dinner and comedy. And I've never gone, but they've got some real headliners, like serious guys, like oh damn it, I can't remember his name. Guys that have been on TV that you would know,
Okay.
cycling through. I can't remember the guy's name. I'll remember it in a little while, I'm sure. But my point is, they do that like the last Thursday of.
Are you expecting a package or something?
Yeah. Here it comes. But you'd be surprised. These mics, they filter that out.
Really?
Not 100%. Depends on how loud they are, but they're pretty good.
That is good.
Cool. So the headliner is?
I forgot.
Okay.
Neil something.
Neil?
I don't know
Wow,
any
now you really got me searching. Neil. Yeah.
I don't know.
But, my point was that, I guess comedy evolves, right? And it evolves to another generation or something. But these people I see at Bananas, I don't know who the hell they are.
Right.
And they're promoting them like they're like, wow, this is it. We got him. And I'm like, holy Christ, how did I miss this guy? Yeah. And that's, again,
I don't
throwback.
know a lot of the names.
Throwback to what we are.
Right.
Or we were. Well, we are, because we're going to be coming back with another life. I mean, we were that joint.
Oh, yeah.
We had the road comics that were true and proven, and we had the headliners, the marquee players.
Right.
And then we brought up from the bottom the guys from the school, the local guys that are trying to move up, and we brought some of these MCs.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm really pretty proud of what we did there. I think we
No,
did
we did a good job.
a good job.
We did a little
And
bit
we
of
didn't even know we
everything.
were doing a good job. Yes,
Right.
that was the other thing. We didn't know. We
We were
did
just
what-
muddling through everything day by
we
day,
just did what we did. I mean, it wasn't like
No,
it wasn't. It was just like we
you know
just
what it
did
was?
it.
We're like, let's try
Now
this.
when we
Let's
sit
try
back
that.
and
We
look
kept
at
on
it-
trying new things, and we just went through
So-
daily life trying
So
everything.
going forward, going forward, if you did, you want to stick with comedy though. Now that you've had a taste for it, or
We're not going to go drama.
no. What about music?
No.
No, I don't know anything about music.
So I actually know the owners of Debonair Music Hall in Teaneck.
Okay.
Never heard of that one.
So they have it's music mostly,
Yeah.
right? I don't think. I mean, you could do a comedy show there, but it wouldn't be what you're.
That's a one-off.
looking for,
Right.
I don't think.
We don't
Yeah,
want.
I'd
We
rather
don't
do
want a
something that's
one-off.
steady,
Right.
something that's going to be steady.
We would like the home,
Right.
and then do some one-offs.
Right.
You know,
right.
but to just do one-offs.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah, a home is what we're really looking for. So, anybody have a home out there?
Cool.
Yeah, but it's been a fun. It's been a fun years.
The best thing
But
is
we
the
met
people.
so many nice
The people are the
Gosh,
best.
we met
They really
so
are.
many nice people.
Uh-huh.
I can't believe how many people I know. It's just amazing,
Yeah.
and they're all wonderful
Customers
people.
too. I mean, customers too. I mean, it was really something. That little room upstairs.
Uh-huh.
It was its own little world. Really, it was. It was just our own little. People didn't even know there was a downstairs sometimes. And you served dinner? Yeah, we served dinner.
Yeah.
You know, they just. I passed here all the time, and I could stop for a drink. No, they came to the comedy.
Right.
And that was the other thing. That was the one thing that used to drive us crazy. It'd be like, I passed here 1,000 times, and I never stopped.
Never came in.
So one day
Why not?
one day we made a banner. The beer companies make the banners.
Uh-huh.
You've passed here 1,000 times. Time to stop.
Oh,
Yes.
You really had that bad?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's
That was a good one,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Because we used to listen to that. People be.
Everyone
The
said
one
that.
thing at the end of the night, I tried to touch every person. How was it? Service-wise, comedy-wise, whatever.
Sure.
And they would all give me the feedback and this and that. And then you'd always get this. Wow, I can't believe this. I've been here. I passed this 1,000. I go to work up in Parsippany.
Sure.
I stop at this light every morning, on the way back. I know that would drive us nuts.
Right.
They would hear you
So many people.
Right, that's how we made the sign.
Clever. That's smart.
I don't know, it was smart. It was just it was due.
It's fun,
It was
right?
due. Well, there's a term in German, nur Spaß,
What does that mean?
just fun.
Just fun. Got it.
And I remember my
German.
aunt had a thing in her curio cabinet. It was a stork, and she bought it in Austria. It was silver. It was gorgeous. And I said, "What is that?" She says, "Nur Spaß,
Just for fun.
just fun,
Got it.
just fun,
Just fun.
just fun."
So, have you seen this series on Netflix? It's called Preacher.
No.
So it's on Netflix. It's called Preacher. It's about this preacher, and there's a lot of nonsense that goes on with this preacher, but it involves God and it involves hell and the devil and everything. And guess who's in hell? Hitler.
Oh,
And
What the
Hitler's,
hell?
Hitler's in the show.
Oh, no
And-
more Mr. Nice Guy.
Oh, and the amazing things that Hitler winds up doing in hell that you'll see. It's really
now I got to go
The
home
show-
and watch
The
this.
show's a lot of
It's
fun.
kind of surreal, right?
You probably won't meet Hitler till season 2.
Oh,
Okay.
But so my wife starts watching these things, and then I want to be next to her, because
Of course.
what? But sometimes she watches this stuff that I can't stand. But sometimes she watches these things. Well, she watches the Spanish princess, the white princess, the red princess, the blue.
Oh, I watched all those. Yes.
I hate those women.
that's when I go to the kitchen.
I hate those women.
Yeah.
You know, The White Princess is based on a true story. You know that.
No, they all are. They all are. But it's in every episode there's a beheading because somebody didn't like somebody, and I'm like,
But it's real.
they're a bunch
This
of
is what
cunts.
used
They're
to
just a
happen
bunch of-
back in the day. This is what
I
happened.
know. That's why we cut ties with England, right? Because
You think?
I think. But now that's what we got going on here, right? We're gonna.
You've seen these episodes?
Which ones?
The
princess.
red,
The
the,
princess,
white,
yeah.
the blue.
Oh, yeah.
I have seen none.
I get triggered when I
I feel
watch
very
The
it.
White
I feel
Princess
very macho
started
now.
the whole thing. She started everything
chest is
before
puffing.
King Henry VIII and everybody else.
Yeah.
I know every story, and I'm British.
God, it
I'm from
drives me-
Scotland.
What happens,
So-
when you,
oh, yeah,
what happens when you
100%.
turn that on? I go,
Because he knows once I'm into it, leave me alone. I'm
That's
into it. You know.
I'm in it.
Your wife's probably living on what's that other one that's on Netflix? Outlander.
Oh, she loves the Outlander.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good.
But that's the stuff- that's the
based on two things. It's based on fact, and it's based on
Sure. But the Outlander's more fun.
The stories, what's it called? Folklore?
Yeah.
It's based between folklore and fact, and you put them
Remember, she's
together.
Scottish.
So now that woman in Outlander, you know who I thought she was?
Who?
I kept saying, Minnie Driver looks great. I thought it was Minnie Driver. I'm like, holy shit, Minnie Driver
Nothing
looks
like
great for that
her.
girl.
No.
She looks just like Minnie
She's
Driver.
got to be
think
80
so.
years old now,
I
right?
know, but Minnie Driver's about my age, I think.
No, I think she's older than you. Yeah.
But I was like, holy shit, Minnie Driver looks fantastic.
It's not her.
I didn't know. I didn't know. And that's what pisses me off about all these guys that I see at your club. I'll confuse two black guys, and right away they're like, you're racist. No. I'm fucking blind. I'm not racist. There's a difference.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
I saw a picture of the guy from what's his
Markel says he's sitting in the back one time, and he goes, "I said it's time for Mr. Direct. Is he here?" You go, "I'm here." I go, "Smile so I can see you."
Oh, shit.
Well, the bright lights, when you're on the stage, the bright lights, you can't
Well,
see
it
back
was
there.
about a black thing.
I get it.
But there was good natured fun. It was like
And
that's what we do. That's
he's
what
coming tomorrow.
And really, that's what we're getting.
Okay.
That's what we're getting away.
Tell him we
from.
said hello.
I don't know what comic it was, but he did a whole rant on Polish jokes, Italian guinea jokes, kraut jokes, black jokes, and he said that we just had fun.
Right.
We used to tell these jokes at parties. With everybody there was a Polak or a German or this or that or Italian, and we would just laugh.
Right.
What happened? Because we weren't hurting anybody.
Right.
We were just poking fun.
Yeah.
Right. I just it's sad.
I heard
It's really sad.
a joke some years ago. I'm going to tell it. It's not my joke.
Okay.
So
You're disowning.
a little boy, he dies. Sad. Where does he go?
Heaven.
Heaven, of course, because all little boys go to heaven.
Right.
Right. And what does he get?
Wings.
What do they call that?
Wings.
Wings.
An angel.
Oh, this is a great joke.
Oh, okay.
This is a
you know-
great
You know
joke.
this show.
No, I know. It's great. Go tell it. Go tell it.
So now a little black boy dies.
Uh-huh.
Where does he go?
Heaven.
Of course, because all little boys go to heaven. That's right. And what
Right.
does he get?
Wings.
That's
No.
right. And what do they call that?
Wings.
A bat.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but if you really tell it the right way, it's
What's
the
the
N
right
word first.
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah.
The white kid goes, "What am I? You're an angel." Oh, great. The black kid goes,
So I never heard it that way.
"Oh yeah."
Okay,
The black
okay.
kid. It was a black guy that told this joke at the club, so I'm going to say it.
Okay.
And he goes, I forget. It might have been what's his name?
Marklin?
Marklin. No, not Marklin.
Not Marklin.
The
Malik.
Malik. I think it was a
Might
Malik
have been
that told it.
Malik.
Yeah, and the Malik that told it. He goes, my kid goes, "I'm an angel?" He goes, "Yes, you're an angel." So the black kid goes up there. He gets in line. He goes, "St. Peter." He says, "Oh, okay, this is for you." He goes, "Oh, I'm an angel?" He says, "No, nigga, you're a black."
Jesus Christ. Oh,
and he took the air out of the room. Like, holy shit.
Malik's got a
There's a way about him.
yeah, he's got a little kind of charisma, right?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
he gets up there,
No
and
doubt.
even if he's not, like, there's something about him where he just gets up there and he kind
If
of.
if he was my cousin, I'd say, "Hey, get yourself a writer," and because you could deliver it. I mean, he got the delivery system, but he's not writing all the time.
Right.
So, but I mean, I'm not disparaging him on the writing. But I said, if someone, T is just cracks me the hell up. I mean, the first time he was so drunk, he was the last guy up there, and then they said to him, I said, "What the hell am I doing?" And he wouldn't get off the stage the first time, right? And you give me the light? I said, "Yeah, give me the light." 4 times.
But you got a bunch of other guys that I see as regular. I mean, sometimes it's somebody new that I've never seen before, but you got a bunch of other guys that are regulars that go in there that
A lot of regulars.
they're nice.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like they
Well, you sat the last time. There was a guy that sat there on that long table.
I always sit with different groups.
Yeah, but
Whenever I
you
go
sat
in,
the last time you were
I'll
there.
rotate
You
myself
sat where
around.
this guy. Oh my goodness!
Well, Mr. Direct. The last time I was there, Mr. Direct was at the table with me, but I sat there because Brenda was there, and she was in my class with Chip.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But the guy that was at that table was J Lot. I don't
Oh
know his
yeah,
real-
J
Oh,
Light.
J Light.
Yep.
Yes, he was a regular years
I
ago.
don't remember his
And
real
then,
name.
I'm thinking
J-Lot,
of
right?
this,
Those are
J-Lot.
names
Yep.
that, yeah.
this was a big guy, probably about 25, 28 years old. He was a Dunkin', Starbucks manager and a Target. What the hell's his last name?
Oh. He gets up and he talks about being at Target all the time.
Yeah.
I forgot his name.
He was
too,
very
but he's funny. He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot his
And he
name.
just unpretentious, just gets
Yeah.
up there and does it.
He's really
he
good.
is really good. So I had him over here on my left, and I had the Tony in my back over here.
Right, so that's what happened when I was sitting back by Brenda, but then I switched tables and I went to the front room, and that's when what's his name had the seizure.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And I was like, somebody said we're going to give you a seizure, and then I thought he was just
They were
making
joking about
I
it.
thought he was making.
I thought it was a
Yeah, but
joke.
see,
He
if you were
actually
there, if you were there every week, you would live this because he's had seizures, but not
Right.
there.
I never knew.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
But he was like pretending to have a seizure, and I'm waiting for it to be done.
he wasn't pretending.
Right, but he wasn't
done with
pretending. Right,
done with the
right.
pretend, and he's not stopping.
But
I'm
I
like, why
thought he
isn't he
was pretending
stopping? And then
Everybody
the guys
did.
were like, he's really having one.
He's really having.
Yeah,
right.
we thought it was because it was all about the joke of having
Right.
a seizure.
But it's all Paul's fault.
How is it Paul's
Well,
fault?
it's always Paul's
Poor Paul.
fault.
I like Paul.
I love Paul, but you know what? I
He's a
had to have
great
a
guy.
couple of talks with him because I said, you're over the fucking top. man.
He's got a
You
mouth.
were
He can
over the
laugh.
You know what,
He
you
can
know
laugh.
what it is though?
But he's great.
But he's got a good heart.
He
He
does.
calls himself No Filter, right?
Because he has none.
But it's not a matter of like no filter means you say what's on your mind.
Yes.
But he's looking for shit to
Yeah.
say that's bad.
No, it's
different
no.
than that
He's
saying
not
it's on
You
looking.
got
It
no,
comes
you have a
out
real
naturally
point
with
there.
him.
You have a real. He's looking to be outrageous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're
No,
right.
I
a real
don't think
point
so.
there.
I think it just comes out naturally with
Nah.
him. I really do.
Hold on. Let me get the tagline. Cancer. You ever saw that joke?
Oh,
Him and
What?
Dave, him and Dave Hodge. That was their thing. Because he would tell the joke about his wife, 18 years. Oh my God, we're almost done with this whole thing. She went to the doctor, blah 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 blah, and she came me with the news. And I said, "Oh, she's dying. Good. Okay, oh, she's pregnant. Good news. It's just cancer.
just get
Oh, cancer. And they would just cancer.
got
And I-
pregnant. I got it. It's funny.
They thought it was hilarious. Like, where's this whole raising the arms cancer?
That's crazy
But there's
shit.
the other guy. I can't remember his name, but the heavy set guy. He's like, yeah, I'm trying to lose weight and this and that and blah blah blah. And then he says, and I'm trying to get that to lose weight. I'm trying to get that what's it called? Cancer.
Oh yeah,
Ah,
that
I
was
forgot
Spanish
his
kid.
name. I forgot his name, but I've seen him.
John Paul. John Paul. Oh yeah,
It's his friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's friends with the good-looking guy.
Yeah. The one that
Jesus.
just got married.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. John Paul. John Pierre. John Michael.
John Michael. Yes,
John
that's
Michael. Yep.
Yeah. He's got some good lines.
Yes, he
Yeah.
does.
That's funny.
And he goes up there and he just riffs sometimes. And he could be something.
Yeah.
And the other guy is cute, so he
Yeah.
could be something because he's cute, But he has some material too. I mean,
Yeah.
those two guys write.
Yeah.
And you can tell.
Yeah.
That some guys go up there and they talk for 5 minutes. You go, what the fuck did you come here for? Really? Why did you show up?
Well, I mean,
And
so
they talk about their career.
if you didn't know,
They talk about their career. He's like, no, you're an open micer. You're trying to get to a career.
right.
But these guys are like, I've arrived. No.
So
but the
what-
guys that really do it, you appreciate them and you respect them.
When I was in college, there was a couple of guys that were going open mics and they were trying to be comics, And I looked at them and I was like, "Holy fuck, that guy's funny." And I thought it was just like natural. It's like I don't have that, right? Like I could tell a joke if I know the joke, but I don't. And it just seemed to me like you had to have that quality, right? That's what I thought.
Right.
And then when COVID happened and I was working from home and I had a little time to watch Netflix and I'd see all these comedy specials and they would say written and directed by, and I was like, oh, you mean they wrote it all out first? Like I'm 50 fucking years old. I'm like, oh,
Really?
I had no idea.
You know they were riffing?
You know how they say there's late bloomers?
Yeah.
Yeah. I bloomed after the fucking
Oh,
harvest
wow.
was picked. You know what I'm saying? Like, no.
So you appreciate it.
So and then I saw Tom Segura. I said this to Kyle the other night. Tom Segura, he gets up there and he's like, yeah, I lost some weight. And then people ask me, well, what'd you do? Like, what kind of diet? and like they can do it. So, well, if you could do it, I could do it, right? No, you can't. Look what I'm doing right now. You can't do this. And he's talking about and I'm thinking, I probably can. Fuck you, Tom. I'm going to do it now, right? So that this was the,
Oh wow.
So
that was your epiphany.
that was kind of my epiphany.
Oh, that's funny.
That's fun.
I miss the open mic. I mean, but most people would say to me, "Why do you do this?"
A lot
of comics at the end, I go, "I can't believe Gene does this. I can't believe." Thank you, Gene, because we had to listen.
Like you had fun up.
I had fun.
When you get up in between, you'd say a little something.
Yeah,
You had
I had fun. Yeah, I mean, and the reason we had other comics doing it, right? And the feedback was enough. This guy's up there doing his whole act in between.
Right. So so the open micers were complaining.
I said, fuck it, I'll do it. I'm not a comic, I'll do it. But I can come up with a line here and there. So that's what I did. I just brought three people up, and then I saw something for an opportunity. I threw a line out. Right. They laughed. It didn't fall dead because I was trying. I knew I had a winner in my pocket, and that was it. So, and the comics loved it because they didn't have to listen to some fucking guy up there 5 minutes in between acts. So they were like, we were doing boom, boom. The lineup. I mean, it was a lot of people.
Sure, yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. We got them done.
I remember the first time I came there. I got there, I don't know, 7.
Okay.
7:30 maybe, I don't know. And I was 18th on the list.
Holy shit.
So
at 7?
No, maybe 7:30.
Wow.
Right? I was 18th on the list. So, I'm getting home at midnight, This one's barking because
she doesn't have your scent.
Yeah. and that was the whole bit I did with my first 10 minutes with Chip. I was like, I'm so average, right? Like everything about me is average. I have an average. My wife says I stink at everything, right?
Holy shit.
And the thing is, I have an average scent, right? My dog doesn't remember my scent. What my wife smells is the stench of mediocrity.
Whoa! Look what you wrote there. Holy
that's a
moly.
good one. That's a good
So
one.
that's what I did. My first class with Chip. That was part of it.
Okay,
So
right.
that was my whole thing about being so average. Right. That was the whole thing. And I think if I practice that, where I do it like if it's natural, I think that 10 minutes and then the other 15 minutes I did the next time. If I practiced them enough and I had them come out natural, I could be a okay opener.
Right.
Act for now, maybe. Right. But
no, I absolutely no. You're discounting yourself. I think you absolutely could be an MC. Absolutely.
Like a host?
Well, a host, yeah. I think you absolutely could be. Because you got the personality to engage, and then you have some comedy behind that. All you need to do is like 10 minutes up and 5 minutes in the back. That's it. It's 15 minutes in total.
You got to be comfortable in
your own skin. And then say goodnight and read the shit that I give you to read. Come back again, do this, do that.
Yeah, my biggest problem though is, like I'm not good with comebacks, right? Like if somebody says something,
right?
Don't engage them.
I'll have a great comeback tomorrow.
Don't engage them.
You're the one with the mic. They don't have a mic.
Don't engage them.
So you just keep talking, and you're talking to the mic, and you're loud. You do your own thing. Right. Whatever they said, half the room didn't hear what he said, and you're doing your thing. They're there to hear you, so they'll ignore him. Yeah. And now he's embarrassed, so he's not going to say anything.
Let me give you the stock line. I wrote this last night, but you were included.
Yeah, there you go.
I act alone.
My favorite heckler was with Bob Nelson. Bob Nelson's on stage, and he always comes up. He's got like a bag of stuff because he blows up the balloons and puts them in the jersey, and he's now a woman. He pushes the balloons down. Now he's like his grandmother, and he does all this stuff. So he's got a bag of stuff, and he's got this guy in the front row, and he's heckling him, and he's ignoring him, and he's doing his own jokes, and he keeps ignoring him, and the heckler will not stop. Huh? So all of a sudden, he says, he's on stage, and the guy's heckling, and he goes like this, and the lights are on him, and he's doing this. And he's like, what is this? Oh, hold on a minute. I got something for this. And he reaches into his bag of tricks.
Oh, yeah.
And he pulls out a can of silly string. And he says, don't you hate the pests in this room? I hate pests in this room. There it is. And he takes the silly string and he sprays the guy that's heckling him all over. The whole room went hysterical, laughing. That guy, he was angry at first, then he laughed, then he shut up. But it was like the best thing I've ever seen anybody do to a heckler.
He is such a lovely man.
That was the best.
He's been around since the 70s.
Yeah.
I mean, he was on Bob Hope's specials.
Wow.
Yes.
I mean, that's where the whole football thing came from. They did that before the
Jiffy
college
Jeff
bowls. No, Jiffy Jeff was the boxer.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, he has such great material and clean. He's very clean.
Yeah, he will not do anything
I would
dirty.
always, I don't know. At one time I put a guy.
Well, I think it's important to have a clean set.
Absolutely.
He makes it very clear.
Absolutely. We had one of the comics that went to the school, and he was an open micer, and he came to me and said, "What do you think?" I said, "Lose the motherfucker." Because you can't say that every 3 minutes.
That's right.
And he get what? I said, and stop with the cunt and the, you're just
But
you're never
people
you're
are
never going to get
uncomfortable with
hired.
that.
Right.
You're never going to get hired. And I think he called the vagina kitty cat or something.
Okay.
And he changed his whole thing around. And he started getting hired.
Right.
Yeah.
And he said, and he came to me. He said, "This is one. I mean, it's not like there's a line out the door."
Right.
But he came to me and said, "Thank you, I appreciate that," because he asked. I didn't tell.
Of course.
He asked. Yeah.
But cunt is kind of gender neutral now, right? It doesn't mean what
It's not.
Mean, right?
It's really not.
No, it's
It's
actually.
not.
I think
If you're in Britain, it
Watch
is.
the Guy
it's
Ritchie
a-
movie.
Yeah.
Everybody's a cunt, right?
Yeah, but you know,
I just don't like that word.
Yeah,
I really
a
don't.
lot of women just. I mean, the guys don't give a shit, but the women have a little, pushback on that word.
Yeah.
So, but again, if you use it for an emphasis,
Right.
bang, you hit the ball out of the park.
Right. But you got to.
If you use it every 3 minutes,
you got to do it right.
I mean, those guys got to, "Hey, motherfucker, you." What are we talking about
that was
here?
part of my bit. Remember, I
Right.
said, "Is it okay if I use the C word?"
Hmm.
Right? Because that person's like kind of cantankerous,
Right.
right? You're close. Can I use the C word?
That's a good one.
So
That is good.
that was Chip helped me put all that together though. Because I had a couple others in there that Chip said no, it didn't work. Like I said, I'm going to use the M word, right? M. That would be midget, right?
Right.
And I tried, but that one didn't work.
Okay.
It didn't fly. But
Cantankerous.
yeah,
That's
cantankerous.
a good
That's
one.
funny.
That is really a good one. Chip wrote my 5 minutes for my son's wedding.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
He did. He's a good writer. He's very good.
Yeah.
I think he's brought 800 or 900 people through our school.
It's I think 900. I think it is.
Yeah.
900 people. Yeah.
Which
a lot.
we never thought that was going to last.
And each class is under 10 people, so that's a lot of classes.
That's wild.
He did. He just did the right thing. He really did the right thing.
He did everything right. And every student came back saying that they learned a lot. They just praised him. He was really good.
And we've had everybody from like 12 years old to 80 years old.
Sure.
Right.
We've had
Always.
lawyers, we had doctors, we had accountants, we had salespeople.
Right.
Some people is a one-off. I'm going to do this and try it.
We had a lot of people come in for classes that didn't want to be comics. They just wanted to get over their shyness, like an attorney that was going to do a trial attorney, but he's scared in the courtroom in front of the people. He had to get over that shyness.
Yep.
And taking this class helped him get over that shyness. Now he can go back to work tomorrow and face the people, face the jury, face the judge, do his job.
Well, my niece wants to be CEO eventually. She's actually
She sounds like my daughter.
she's working her way up this company now. She's actually becoming like a different level managers. Like she really wants to be. And I said to her, you know what? One of these comedy classes would be very helpful for you to do your speeches because it's going to give you a new perspective on how to go about that whole stage presence thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. No,
We even had
she's a sharp girl.
Oh, we had the one IT guy, an Indian guy, hard to believe. He was absolutely hilarious, and that's all he wanted.
Was it during my class? Or
No,
was that
no, it's way before you.
Oh, way before.
Way before you, and it was like, wow, this guy is so good, and that's it. That's all he wanted. Done. He did the weeks,
Got it.
and that was it. Done. I said,
Okay.
don't you want to pursue to come to the open mic? Nah. But he was funny. I mean, really
He just wanted
funny.
to get over this
And he
being
was like
shy.
a first timer,
Uh-huh.
and the shit that he wrote was like, wow.
Uh-huh.
Done.
That's it, huh?
Everybody has different wants.
Yeah,
Not everybody wants to be a
absolutely.
comic, but they all join for different reasons. And some people joined just because they said it was on their bucket list and they just never took it further. They just like, okay, I'm going to try it. They did it and they're done. Because everybody
One
has
of my
different
buddies
reasons.
did it when I was young. He went to the Boston Comedy Club and got up and did it
Oh, in New
Okay.
York? In the Village?
in the Village, yeah.
Yeah.
And I kept after him like, well, you should do it again. You know, he was like, yeah, I did it.
That's a legendary place.
And well, you know, I don't know when they closed, but I liked that place. Like that was a nice little intimate place, the Boston Comedy Club. You know, I had been there many times for shows when I was younger, but I went to the open mic to see him do his thing, and you know, and I think he did pretty good. He was, you know, first time,
Right.
but I really wish he would have pursued it, and he never did.
That's where Leno cut his teeth.
Really?
Yeah, because Leno's from Boston.
Right.
So Leno used to, they're in the Improv.
Uh-huh.
And because
In
Leno,
the city here, though.
yeah, in the city, yeah,
Right.
on 40, was it 43rd, on 8th Avenue. Leno used to come down from Boston
Right.
with cars. That's where the whole car thing starts.
Oh,
He used to
no shit.
deliver like a Rolls Royce from Boston to somebody
no
in New
shit.
York, or a Bentley or something in New York. And he would stop and park the car and do 5 minutes and get out and deliver the car.
No way.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
crazy.
and the Improv. You know, the Improv is like Hell's Kitchen over
Yeah,
there. And
yeah.
in those days,
Right.
that really wasn't a good
Rolls Royce
neighborhood.
there.
No,
No.
you know, the dance.
Pulling
For,
in with a Bentley.
you know, you could dance for a dime, or you could get a blowjob for a nickel. I mean, it was horrible over there. It was horrible.
Holy shit.
Well, you got to know how to shop. I'm a
Yeah.
shopper.
Yeah.
So- but he would park the Bentley outside,
Uh-huh.
or the Rolls Royce outside, go in and do 5 minutes and come back out. I mean, pray to God
Right.
that thing's going to be there.
Holy shit.
I mean,
That's funny.
but that Boston Comedy Club was a big thing in its
I
day.
enjoyed
Yeah.
that place.
Yeah, a lot of people got their starts there. And the Improv, I mean, if you read about the Improv, it's like, wow, that's a once in a lifetime thing. It's a once in a lifetime magic that hit that little corner.
Right.
It's amazing because they got the Broadway people coming in off there.
Right.
You know, they had the
Well, and then Caroline's was there too, but Caroline's closed.
yeah.
Dangerfield's
But
is
the
gone.
Improv was way before Carol.
Yeah.
Isn't Dangerfield's open again?
I don't.
Yeah, it
think
did.
so.
Yeah,
It's
they
called
open here?
Rodney's now.
Rodney's,
is it?
yes.
Oh,
yes.
really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I'm not going to speak to
No,
it.
but I'm not.
But I understand they opened again. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Well, that's nice.
I don't know how they could do it because if Dangerfields couldn't afford the rent, how does this place afford the rent? I mean,
I don't know.
but it's out there. Actually, Bob DeBono does a show there once a month, and a couple of our micers have been there, like on a Wednesday or Tuesday. Yeah. It's a mixed bag.
Right.
You know, it's like
Well, all in New York is.
well, New York is Caroline's was the only one that was really, and the Gotham. I mean, Gotham is Gotham's Gotham.
Gotham's still there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Gotham's
cellar.
Gotham.
The cellar.
Right. Then there's the cellar and
Yeah.
the place around the corner, and then there's a tiny little place down the block from it where Sharon Simon always hosts.
Oh,
Oh.
Greenwich.
Greenwich
Greenwich,
Village.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like
about
Sharon.
50, that's
She's
about
so
50
sweet.
people, I think.
It's a
Maybe
small place,
less.
But it's,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
perfect.
That is perfect.
That's perfect for that type of, you know, she's not going to bring 200 people,
right.
yeah. But if she fills 40, 50 people, that's a good show.
That's
Yep.
a good show.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and she's funny. I like her.
Yeah.
And you know
Yeah.
what? She's a nice person.
She's very,
really
very
a nice person. She's a genuine person.
You know what my biggest beef about
We were at her wedding.
with all these guys is I've never heard a lot of their acts. I'll see them at the mic, and they refuse to do any part of their act at the mic.
They don't. They just trying new material at the mic. That's the reason they go to the mic.
Or sometimes they're just getting up and riffing, right?
Right.
But you know, like, so I don't ever get an opportunity to hear their material because I'm not going
You don't
out
go
of
to
my
the
way to go
shows.
to all these shows. You know what I
Right.
mean? But then I saw Johnny Hollywood one night at a show up in Northvale. It was Hollywood, Paul, and a few other guys. Chip
Gary.
produced the show. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it was a good show.
Uh-huh.
It's a good show. But I had already seen that thing that Hollywood did that night. I had already seen him do it.
Uh-huh.
So God damn it, I want to see something new. Holly, you know what I mean? Like, God damn it,
I like Johnny.
he's a good guy.
I like
So,
after
and he's
every
a good
open
guy.
mic we
I remember when I first started going to these different mics, I wound up just hanging out with him one night and just talking about stuff.
Oh, you could talk about anything.
Oh, John could talk.
he
John could talk.
yes.
Yeah, it was good. It was
And he knows a lot of shit.
He was
Yeah.
a great talker.
Yeah.
Every time I
He's
talk to
nice.
him, I learn stuff from him.
Yeah.
He knows a lot about a lot of things.
And then I debunk it after she repeats it to me.
I'm like, do you know what I heard? And I'll tell
Yeah,
you. He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you don't believe that, do you? I
No,
said, yes,
you know what?
it's true. Johnny
She would
told
say
me.
things like, "You know what I heard?" Blah 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 blah. I said, "Hollywood." And she'd go, "Yeah." I said, "It's full of shit."
No, but a lot of the times it turns out, it's just that it's outrageous
No,
stuff, but a lot of it turns out to be
credible.
true.
He's credible. Yeah.
It really does turn out to be true
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, back in the day with all the Trump
But
and the,
everybody
and the Clinton,
disagrees with
the
something.
pizza parties
Yeah.
and the hot dog party. Remember all those crazy stories, all the parties? And he was telling me what all this stuff meant and what was going on. And I'd come, after work, I'd go home and I'd tell him, Johnny told me this and Johnny told me that. And he'd be like, you don't believe that. That's bullshit. Where's he getting that from? And now here we are years later and it's all coming out. It turns out everything he told me was true. It was real. It was real.
First off, don't use the word all.
Well, everything that's hitting, everything that's
replace that with some
stuff that's been coming out now.
Yeah.
It comes out years later.
Right.
It's coming out now that all these crazy, crazy stories were real and they were true. And he told me back in the
like what kind of story?
Oh, look at you!
Oh,
Look at you, the interviewer.
I don't know what kind of story. Do that on camera.
So
You should have a podcast.
remember earlier how we were talking about like me being an independent, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let me explain why. Because I feel like I should explain why.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever been to the Political Compass?
No.
Okay, so there's a website called Political Compass.
Really?
And there's 45 questions,
Okay.
all multiple choice.
Oh, I've taken that.
Answer them as honestly as possible.
Yeah.
And you know what I discovered? I am like dead set in the middle. Now, the first time I took it, I was like the top is fascist, the bottom is libertarian, the left is communist, and the right is, I don't know what the right is, but the right? The first time I took it,
The right is correct.
Wait for it. So I was libertarian, like I was very close to the middle, but below the line, so I was close to the libertarian, which means I want a smaller government, right?
Uh-huh.
But I was to the right of Hitler.
Really?
Hitler wasn't that far to the right.
Oh,
But I was to the
wow.
right of Hitler.
What?
And then the second time,
Oh, no.
yeah, I'll show you the graph. But the second time I
salute.
took it, I answered it. But Hitler was fascist, but he wasn't so far to the right. Because, like,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I was
Exactly.
going to say you're right. You're correct.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the next time I took it, I was a little bit less to the right. I was more, but I'm almost dead set in the middle. Because, I really believe that on the right side, that people should be responsible for their own shit.
Right.
But the government should have some programs to help just in case.
Support.
Right?
Yeah.
But they should be a lifeline, not a lifetime thing, right?
Yeah, great phrase.
But as far as companies go, corporations,
Mm-hmm.
I believe that they're in business to turn profits.
Right.
However, they shouldn't be polluting our rivers and
Of course.
that kind of right. So the first time I took the test, I was a lot more lenient on the companies than the second time, but I was still to the right,
Okay.
and I was a little lower, closer to the libertarian. So basically, it's like, I don't want you to fucking tell me what to do and keep your and go handle your own shit. Basically, that's
Right.
my
Mhm.
attitude, right? But when I hear people on social media, they are so far to the right or so far to
You're
the
right.
left,
That's true.
it drives me fucking
It's
crazy.
very
You're
true.
correct. Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
I mean, that's what it, we talked about
And
that the other day.
so that's what scares me. Like, I'm okay with and people don't like Trump because he's a racist, right?
He's
but is
not.
He, is
He's
he?
not. He's not at all. He
Right,
really
but that's
isn't.
what-
You know what you
believe.
see? Take that point. Racist. He is not given handouts. And he said, I will not give you handouts. What he did, though, is create economic zones in black neighborhoods where the government funded businesses.
Right.
So you can go as a black member of the community and create a business.
Right.
That's a loan.
Right.
However, if you're successful, it's washed.
Right.
I mean, he was good.
It's
He was
washed.
very good.
And that's,
for them.
there's all this bullshit now with Kamala or whatever the hell her name is,
But-
and feeding people and sending checks and all this. Just get the economy going.
Yeah.
Drill.
Right.
Right.
We are bigger than Saudi Arabia. We're the greatest oil in the world.
Right.
We could probably go back to 90-cent oil. Gas, I'm saying.
but
But if we
Gas
do that,
rules the
Yeah,
if we
economy.
do
Side
that,
to that.
we bring down all the prices of everything,
Right.
and the people have more spendable money, and they rise with the tide.
Exactly.
Right.
If you just
It all
keep-
starts with the oil.
what has this government done? This government has given the poor communities, the indigent,
Right.
money.
Right.
That's
money
all they do.
and money.
That's all
they
they do.
never gave them a foot up. They gave them money. So what happened?
Right.
Jesus Christ! Why do we
It's
have
just
all
like-
these?
it's just
Why
like
do we have all
winning-
these
it's like winning the
welfare?
lottery, right?
Why do we have all
Exactly.
these,
That's
all these
exactly it.
welfare moms? Why?
Right.
Because the dad leaves because she gets more money.
Right.
I mean, and she has another kid, she gets more money.
But-
It's what we've done socially is horrible.
But let me throw this at you.
The government has created this.
Yes.
Why? Votes.
If
It's all about
if
votes.
we drill all of it, like I firmly believe that we should try to drill some of our oil,
Right.
but we should also reserve it, because what if we needed?
We always had
We
reserves.
had it until he gave
we
it away.
always had it.
Emergency, right?
Biden's
When
the
we
one that
have
lost it all.
emergency, we gotta have it.
Well, wait, he
Right.
gave it away.
He gave it all
Yeah, that's
away.
a
We
He
have
gave it away
no
for the
reserves.
elections. He thought he was going to get some points on that,
Right.
and he just gave it away. Put it back into the economy to keep the price down. The price didn't fudge.
Crazy.
It did
Didn't
nothing.
do anything,
Did
right.
nothing. You know, and now we got to put it back at what price?
Yeah.
Right? That was cheap oil. Now we could have been big oil.
Right.
If we get this guy in, well, he's crazy or orange hair or whatever the hell he is, we're going to get low energy prices,
But
and that
never
drives everything.
Never before.
Everything.
Then the economy will come back up.
Never before have I ever seen. Now, and you're older than me, right? So I'll say this.
Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah. In my lifetime, I was born in '63, so Kennedy was still alive. In my
Yeah.
lifetime, there's never been a president that has affected me
63. I think
In
I
a
went
really
first hard
bad
on it.
way.
63.
better for worse, right? That's my white privilege.
Okay.
Right? Because I don't have to worry about getting pulled over
Right.
on the way home. I don't have to worry about all that kind of shit that other people would have to worry about, right? So
Mhm.
that's my.
You mean those people?
Yeah, those people, right? The good ones. But on the other side, I recognize who I think did better jobs, right? I
Right.
think Reagan.
Reagan was
you see-
excellent.
but see, here's the thing, right? When you look at, like, Carter happened to be in a bad place at a bad time, right? It was the energy crisis.
Yeah, but he was real wishy-washy.
no,
Everything he
no,
did
no,
was
no.
wishy-washy.
Yeah, but later on in life, he turned out to be a really good guy.
Yes, but he was a bad
Right.
president.
He
Yeah.
He
wasn't good
wasn't
at
a
running the
leader
country.
at all.
Yeah.
You're
He
right.
was,
Yeah.
He was very
he
intelligent,
was
but he
at the
couldn't
right
run the
place. He
country
was a
right.
nuclear sub admiral, whatever the hell it called. But he was at the right place at the right time, where everybody's tired of all the bullshit with Nixon and all that other stuff.
Carter.
And Carter.
Right.
And he came. I remember coming on stage the first time. He goes, I'm Jimmy Carter.
With the, with
You
the,
know,
with the
you just-
sweater?
no, the sweater was a bullshit thing. That's where he was starting to go wrong. He did the fireside chats with the sweater.
That's right. That's
You know,
right.
he talked about
Was
the
that
Malay.
Mr.
He
Rogers?
talked
Yeah.
he
I
talked
like
about
him,
the
yeah.
malaise of the country.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he wasn't bringing it up.
Right.
He was horrible. And he started off with a zero-based budget that he was going to do. That never went anywhere. Nothing went anywhere. His old Middle East concept was flawed. You know, it was all photo opportunities. That's all that was. And then, so that's why he got voted out.
Right.
You know, but yeah, that's all I have to say about him. I mean, he's a nice guy. I mean, building houses and doing all that
Sure.
stuff.
But
The peanut
never in
farmer
my
lived in the same house.
lifetime.
Lived in the same house.
Actually,
Yeah, that's right. His whole life.
so never in my lifetime has there been a president where kindergarten kids needed therapy
Right.
until Trump got elected. Now, what the fuck is that?
That wasn't
Right?
Trump. That was not Trump.
No, I
That
know
was
that.
not Trump.
That was whiny parents.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Yeah, that's all it
It's
was.
this generation.
I know a lot
this
of people
generation are
Who,
crazy.
when Trump was president, he ruined their lives. Ruined their lives. I'm like, what the? Really? I don't.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I really like Trump a lot.
I love Reagan. I think I'm a Republican,
Well,
but I think
I'm with Alex P. Keaton. You know.
I think Clinton was a decent president. I think Clinton
He was good. And
I
you
think
know, who
Clinton
cares
over.
who
I
he
think
slept with?
Clinton.
He
I
did run
think
the
Clinton
country good.
overshadows Obama.
So
I think Obama was an empty suit.
people love Obama because
He was black. No, that was the whole thing.
Not
He was
just-
original. He was original first timer.
No, but not just that. He did speak well.
Oh yeah.
He was
Oh,
very
yeah.
eloquent, right?
He was
But he had
He was.
nothing. It was an empty suit.
eloquent. But Obama said the words that scared me the most, and that was redistribution of the wealth.
Oh, that was scary. Yes,
That scared the
yes.
shit out of me.
Yep.
Right? And now
She said that the other day.
well, Kamala
No, I'm his wife.
Kamala
They got
wants
5
to do
houses.
that. Yeah. That's right.
And they're like
Right.
millions
You know what I want?
each.
I want like this guy, right? He's the stock guy. I want them to start a Pelosi fund where they watch these senators and all these.
Oh
people.
no, there's a website.
Whatever they buy,
No.
buy it because you know what.
No, there's a website for that.
No. I don't want a website.
No, there's a
want there to be
website
an
that tells you
actual
what they
fund.
buy.
Yeah, but it's too late already, right? I want just like the S&P 500. There's an index. I want there to be a Pelosi index.
That would be
where
good.
Automatically,
you know
whatever they
she's
buy, the index is buying.
She's all insider trading and getting away with it. Martha Stewart didn't get away with it.
Right.
She went to jail, and yet Pelosi's doing it.
Yep.
I mean, like, what was it, like 2 or 3 weeks before they decided to go all electric cars? Her husband bought millions of dollars in stock in
the company that makes the batteries.
No. What's it called?
It was Microsoft.
No, Tesla.
No, it was
Millions of dollars in
Microsoft
Tesla.
also.
No, the Tesla was the big one.
Microsoft got a big contract with the government.
Okay, but that one too. But I'm talking about before all these electric cars were going up. Her husband, 2 weeks before they passed the bill, no one even knew the bill was coming up. She knew it.
Sure.
Her husband bought millions of dollars of stock, and all of a sudden the bill comes to the seat, and they pass it, and Tesla stocks go up.
Sure.
Her husband made millions overnight in stock like that, and they said, and
that's why he got hit with a hammer.
People turn around, yes. And people say that she is doing insider trading and getting away with it.
You know what the biggest problem is in this whole thing? We can talk about this till the cows come home. The biggest problem in this whole thing is people don't do their homework. They don't look at their politicians. There's just pothole politicians that, oh, he fixed that thing in my street.
Yeah.
He's got to be a good congressman. Yeah, I'm going to hire him. The people are so naive and don't delve. I mean, they delve into what kind of cream cheese to eat, what kind of this, what kind of snack. But these are people that are running our government.
Right.
They're running our lives, basically. And we don't do our homework on them at all. At all. And who votes in this country? 50, 60%, maybe?
I thought more, but
no, I don't think it's more. I think it's over 60%.
Well, state by state is coming forward saying that they're finding thousands upon thousands of people that are in the system for votes that are either dead or illegals that are not supposed to be in the system.
And then when you Texas just got rid of 1 million votes.
Yes. Yeah. Now these are the votes that voted Trump out of office last time.
North Bergen?
That's where I was born and raised. Until I was raised until I was 10 years old. Yeah, North Bergen.
Really?
Yeah, 50th Street.
Hudson County.
Hudson County.
Okay. How many graveyards vote in Hudson County?
I don't know, but
all of them.
there was one right across the tunnel banks from where back of my house.
I mean, that's the biggest thing in Hudson County. Been dead for 20 years, still voting.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
They get away, but every person, if you look at them all, every single one of those votes, they're all Democrats. Every one of them. So it shows you they are playing the system. And they've been getting away with it. Well, and I think if we had figured this out 4 years ago, Trump would have been president the last 4 years.
If we were today,
they forced the write-in ballots also.
Yes, that's crazy.
The mail-in ballots.
Right.
Yeah,
that was part of the problem.
That's and no ID. I mean, you have to go. Right. You have to go to Kamala's.
So I could go.
You go to Kamala's thing. You have to have an ID.
And steal all their ballots out of their mailboxes and sign and mail them in, and it's done.
Right.
Well, the guy on Fox did that. What's his name? Doesn't matter. But he did that during the whole election process. That there was one woman just stuffing ballots, and they followed her in Connecticut. They were catching her all the time, and actually wound up going to jail for the whole thing. But that was Hudson County. That's the way it was. But what happened is,
what do you mean stuffing ballots? What was she doing?
She was going to the old people and going, "Oh, did you get your write-in? Yeah, give it to me. Did you write in? Give it to me." And then it was.
Why were people giving it to her?
Because they're fucking dumb.
Seriously?
Come on, old people. They get phone calls and go, "Hey, I can give you $1 million if you give me 10,000." They go, "Holy shit, I hit the lottery!"
Yeah.
No,
my father. Oh no, he told me he's going to put all the what are those things? Solar on the roof for free. I said, "Dad, nothing's free. Yep. Nothing's free."
but we how we have evolved. I mean, if you look back at Jack Kennedy, he was a Republican.
But he was a Democrat. He was on the Democratic Party.
He was a Republican. Yeah, right. If you look back at
because of flip flops.
If you look at Richard Nixon,
right,
he was weighted towards the Democrats.
Really?
Well, come on. He put WIC into women's and infants care.
Right. He
did that. He did some other home relief thing. I just update myself as said home relief. He did Price. What am I looking for? Like she's trying to do now. Price settlement. You couldn't raise your prices.
Oh,
in the store.
Cap it.
Price capping. So in other words, so in other words, when I was running stores, then It'd be like, okay, I got this for
Yes.
49. This is 49 cents today, but the price went up on it over here. But I would have to take all these 49 censors and move it to the front and put the 59 censors back here.
Really?
Yeah, that went on for about 9 months, and there was a price book that you used to have to keep in your store. That if you said, "Hey, that's bullshit," here's the price.
No.
Yeah, that was Nixon.
Wow.
Now, you're supposed to be this
Not a
crazy guy. I'm
Not a
not
crook.
I'm not a cook.
You did that good.
I'm not a cook. Your president is not a cook. I remember that.
You know what though?
I think that day he was
he was very
Nixon was
sharp.
sharp.
No,
Very
Nixon,
sharp. He was. He
Nixon
really
just
was.
didn't have the personality.
Yeah.
That's his biggest problem. I mean, he was a brilliant guy.
He was. He really was.
I mean, look, he opened up China for us and everything else. I mean, we didn't know how to manage it after that, but he did it. I remember the day he resigned. It was a Monday night. I was in the store. I usually didn't close on a Monday night, but my assistant needed something else, so I closed. And I put that on we used to have the microphone, aisle 3, clean up. And I put the radio there, and I put the microphone on, and they listened to his resignation speech.
Oh.
That was sad.
And you could see the people in the store; they were just kind of like sad, It was like most of them probably didn't like him because it was Hudson County; it's all Democrat.
But other people have been impeached and then didn't resign.
Well, nobody resigns to be impeached.
Right.
Well,
No, Clinton was impeached.
Right.
Yeah, he
Clinton
was.
impeached, he didn't resign.
That's
Well,
right.
define is.
That's right. That's right.
Define
Right.
is.
So when that happened, when that whole thing happened, I'm still pretty fucking naive. But when that whole thing happened, my view on all of it was, so here's a guy who's cheating on his wife.
Who cares?
Hold on. Okay, that's what you're saying.
What I care about is him lying on the stand, perjury.
Hold on.
I care about that.
Cheating on his wife.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that?
Which is the promise. You made a lifetime promise to that woman
Right.
to have and to hold,
Right.
better for worse, all that, right?
Every
That's the promise.
president done it.
I understand that. But my feeling is, if he's willing to lie about that, he's willing to lie about everything.
That's a good point. That's a great
Yeah,
point.
Right?
That's true. I
That's
never
a
thought of it
great
that
point.
way, but every president has cheated.
Of course
Yeah.
they have.
Maybe not Jimmy Carter, but the rest of them have.
Jimmy
Maybe
can.
not
Jimmy can.
What do you think Bush did?
Carter couldn't get laid in a whorehouse with a $50 bill in his head.
Maybe
I don't
Bush
believe
Jr., but I don't think Bush Sr.
No, Bush Sr. didn't do
It's
it. No.
certainly not Ronald Reagan.
You know what? Bush Sr. could have done it, and we would never know. He was in the CIA, and he knew
Yeah,
stuff we'll never know, and he knew all
Don't
covert-ups.
paint it with that
He
brush.
he also knew a lot of stuff about the space
course he did.
program. What's that fund with black money? The black. It was something to do with the space, how they were hiding money. They called it the black something. Hollywood knows about it. John Hollywood.
Bingo.
Yes,
We're
he knows all
back.
about it.
Hollywood
We
knows
came
about
full
it.
circle, right?
There was a
Now you
fund.
understand what I said at the end of the night?
There was a fund for these stupid things, like like a toilet. You got to need a new toilet. Okay, it's $20,000. A hammer, $35,000. Things like that, because the money was really going into some secret space. You know what I'm talking about? What is it, the space program?
Oh,
It was a
Star
secret-
Wars.
No,
Not Star Wars.
Star Wars was
No.
the greatest. That was the greatest thing Reagan ever did. He bluffed everybody on that.
That was the. Is that what
Reagan
you're talking
bluffed
about, the
everybody.
space program?
There's a secret space program out there.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, you talking about Area 51?
No.
No.
I'm talking about what's going on right
She's
now. up
beyond
there.
that.
No, I'm talking about today. What's going on? That we have money.
We have aliens.
No, we have space stations way up there in space.
Uh-huh.
And you know who knows all about it is Elon Musk. He
And,
knows
and
everything.
Hollywood.
Now, I'm being serious.
Come on.
what is he always into? He's into that what's it called? That the black net, the
Black hole?
the internet, the
Black
Oh,
web.
the dark web?
dark web.
Dark
That's
web,
it, the
got
dark web. And he gets a lot of his
You're
information.
too racist with that shit. It's the dark web.
I know.
Not the black web.
Yeah, come on.
I don't know. He was,
Power to the people.
no. The dark web, there's a lot of political
Yeah.
stuff on there
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah.
other people are not supposed to know about it.
Right.
But he pays money
And
to
the whole
watch
world
and read
doesn't
all
know
this.
about
And,
this. There's only us.
So what
There's
happens
only
is,
us.
if you go to the dark web,
uh-huh.
what happens is it's not filtered by the search engine.
Exactly.
Right? So you could find other things. But you could also get viruses and things a lot easier. You can still get viruses on the regular web.
Right.
But yeah, but you have to know still what you're looking for. All you got to do is download the Onion browser, and you could go to the dark web,
Uh-huh.
and then you could search for whatever you want.
Girls with wet jeans?
I don't think he
If you
searches.
want.
I think he just I think he
As a
just
sociology
browses
teacher, so
and things come to him. And if it catches his attention, then he really gets into it.
Right.
And then he'd come to me on an open mic afterwards, and we'd have a long conversation about it. And I'd go home to him and be like, oh, Hollywood told me this. And he'd be like, you don't believe that shit, do you? But they're good conversations. And then I find out, like, he always, like, says, it's bullshit. Don't listen to that. But then it turns out that years later, I find out it turns out to be true. Yes. And then I say to him, don't you remember 6 years ago, Hollywood said this?
You wish upon a
you know I'm telling the truth. That is the truth. That is the truth.
I'm going to stop the camera.
Oh, I thought you did that already.
No, I never got up.
Oh, I thought you did.
So we say goodnight? Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Oh, I wasn't rolling. And now we got our ticket. Now everybody remember that. Share that with everybody you know, and let's do this. Let's GameStop this shit. All right, now that was the light, which means I only have a couple minutes, like a couple seconds. Yeah, you're right. So it's less than a minute now, but thank you. So I am starting a podcast. I know, everybody's got a fucking podcast. But my podcast is going to be different because I just bought a wood-fired oven. So you're going to come to my house. We're going to have pizza. You tell me what kind of pizza you like. I'm going to make the pizza. We're going to talk about shit. We're going to promote stuff. Like, Gene, if you'd like to come to my house and we talk about stuff, I think people would love to listen to that podcast because you've got a lot to say about what you did as a comedy club owner for all these years. I got pizza anytime you want. All right? And we're going to call the podcast Pizza and Sodomy. I just think it's a fun name, right? It's a fun. Gee, get up here, come on.